Yes! Do you miss the intense passion? Best teams in the world. Powerful emotions. Epic fights. Stunning rivalries. It's time for the biggest comeback. Singapore. This March, Land Major Dota is coming back.
The one thing about the Magnus is he still can get burst, and also there's a situation where you have to watch out about fatal bonds. You're very tanky. If you're bonded to your team and you don't have the baton to get that to remove that from you, it could be problematic as the RP.
It gets it on one. It's on Boxy at the same time they've been able to hold Quoifer the side. Quoifer's got to be careful. Armin's going to chase it. Quoifer's dead. The curse is there as well from Xnova, that follow-up, allowing them to finish off Boxy. They now turn towards Tiger. They'll get him as well.
My God, it's fully swung.
It really has. Boxy's hunting. Boxy might find something here. He's got Xnova, the ultimate immediately cancelled. And Chalice, a disruption, and Somnus, he's surrounded. He'll put the BKB, go for the Requiem. He's trying to help his teammates. The buyback's there from Xnova. Mickey Zink bashes out, jump across from Arme. He's looking to try and pick off the support, but he loses Somnus at his side. Somnus is dead. Arme is trapped underneath the Will-O-Wisp. Boxy with a follow-up Who Stop. Again, the chain stuns between Boxy and Quoifer holding him in place. 3 dead on LGD.
But they're in with the Metamorphosis. They'll take out the range racks first and then look under the melee. Dream. Mild tickle for him so far. Learns to protect him. Dream Call comes out. Jump in straight away. The sun is switching. No! Strauss gone. BK beat up and it wasn't good enough. But the BKB on SF barely keeping him alive. He snaps the coil! Oh no! GPK catches them off guard with the Aghanim. They didn't expect it. And that Dream steal from PYW will achieve nothing. That's the GG. Vici tap out. Gambit with a 30k net worth lead. 26-minute mark. Take the game.
Kunkka was going on the Shadow Fiend. He needed one more hero to really secure the kill on GPK. They didn't have the damage from the Kunkka that we're going to do. And look at this damage.
Demolish. Stop me if you can. But I don't think you can. Mask of Madness in 2 seconds. Doesn't even need it for this one. There you go. Might as well. See if you can disarm me. Okay. X. Dream will turn around and fight again. Static Link taking away a lot of damage. Yang down half HP already needs to be careful. The toss to drop Ori and BKB. Eurus is still chasing, but how the hell are you guys Tiny? The reload out once more. Overgrowth jumping. DY backstabs their line. But the kinetic field down. Throw him up a little bit. Eurus chase through. Will find the kill to Tiny though, and Vampire will next hit the deck alongside GPK. Suddenly, Vici strike back, but it did cost them racks.
Run, Crystallize, run. Well, they're actually kind of maybe try and fight this one. I'm a little bit surprised. There is an Aegis on the side of EG. Pasha runs out of mana straight off the bat here, so he's not going to be able to get a split off or anything. And now the Roar comes out on the Weaver. That's going to make it another kill. The swap is useless. Ilias is just going to give his life for this one as well. Throw in a courier. Why not? This fire is burning bright and a bed, looking to find +1, but Zayats gets the roll out to safety. Drow does not care. Keep it on chasing, and Ilias is going to be the one who's dropped. Good night. They continue their rampage through the enemy base. EG taking buildings right now, looking for their second victory against Na'Vi, blasting them back with that multi-shot. The damage is insane. Magical, and they keep trying to trade hits, but this time he might not get away with this one. The Yules has to come out in order to avoid the right clicks, but they're just closing the gap here, and there come the right clicks. Down goes Magical, immediate buyback, trying to make something happen here. Meanwhile, Zayat's trying to get back into the fountain. Abed's just in the base, though. Pasha drops, Zayat drops as well. They've frozen solid the gyrocopter. Surely Abed has to stop, but from outside the base, Arteezy is just fountain farming them, and Na'Vi will finally say good game. We're out. White flags raised high. EG take game number 2 as they pummel Na'Vi back inside their base. They keep on being.
That went for the teams way past midnight. It was a 3-game series, went all the way, and it was super, super close between the two teams. And one thing that you guys might not know is during that time, Quoifer actually was ill. He had bronchitis. and he was for the last game put on Drow Ranger. He's like, you know, you just be off in the corner, and they ended up losing that game. And this was a game that Liquid lost. But if you saw the teams play, gods, you'd think that Liquid should be the team coming out on top here.
Yeah, I mean, I think when it comes to these two teams, Liquid are just favored by the pure factor they have their full roster here. You can't really expect Nigma to kind of compete to their full potential when they have that stand-in factor.
Yeah, and we have a draft going on already.
All right. We're getting right into the Dota. I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, just speaking about these two teams, and not only the last series, they've played 10 games, and out of those 10 games, it went 5-5, so very close, but there are some differences, right? We have RMN standing in from that coach position and playing. Obviously, he played before, but when he did stand in before for Nigma, he was playing 5. He standed in for Kuroki. This time, it's a bit different. They're missing mind control, and the question has to be asked, how strong are they now when they have pretty much 2 position 5s in their team?
Yeah, I think there's, you know, it's kind of being expected and announced that RMN might just be directly replacing the offlane role, but he's historically been more of a support player. So it's going to be interesting to see whether Kuro, you know, we've seen Kuro switch onto that carrier mid role before, so whether or not RMN plays the offlane or if he goes to support, we're going to have a lot of questions about how Nigma play. And I expect Nigma to start slow, but they're going to get better as they get to play more throughout the tournament because of the standard.
Isn't Kuroki the one that picked every single hero for
Yep.
himself?
Yeah.
There you go.
Exactly.
The flexibility is definitely there, but it's not easy. It's definitely not easy to go from playing a support into jumping into a core role.
And despite these teams not having played for a month, they're still sticking with what worked for them back in, you know, the European DPC League. The Earth Spirit, the Keeper of the Light, some of the most played heroes in the support role. Puck has been a hotly contested hero as well because of the flexibility, so no surprise when it comes to these opening picks.
A little, okay, so definitely no surprises. Bans have, for me, however, been a little bit different than what I'm used to seeing with these two teams. As you can see, Nigma, they banned out the Weaver and the Enigma, but they snatched Kotal away. Usually they ban out Kotal and Lone Druid versus Team Liquid. Meanwhile, Team Liquid, okay, this is a bit more standard, banning out that Phoenix and Io versus Nigma's GH. It's a very safe opening of bans, followed up by Viper and Storm by Nigma and Medusa by Team Liquid. Now this is something that I really want to see from them, banning out these hard carries versus Nigma, because so far I have seen them always fail versus Miracle when he's in a favorable late game scenario and a favorable matchup that he has, like Medusa versus Nursa or something.
Yeah, and really the story of these two teams is a story of a team that wins games in the early game versus a team, Nigma, that wants to go late game. Like Liquid, we saw some of these graphs earlier where they're winning all their games in the early to mid game. Like that's when they have their best success. You know, Liquid fans know this team, when it goes 40, 50 plus minutes, have struggled to kind of clutch out some of those big games, whereas Nigma, they're the exact opposite.
They ban out the Razor by Team Nigma, but there are some of those heroes that you mentioned that are still in the pool. You have Team Liquid, it's Team Cheese. They have Visage, they have Broodmother, they have Lone Druid, and not a single one of these three heroes has been banned so far. We might see them.
This is Team Liquid. For Team Liquid, they had to go through tiebreakers to get here, right? And it was super close. There were 3 teams, 3-way tie. They had to go to 3 rotations. In the first 2 games that Team Liquid played there, they cheesed. Like, there's everything on the line.
Wasn't there a Huskar even?
They went up against OG. They went Oracle Huskar. Yeah. And I feel like you mentioned Lone Druid already. We saw them play Visage. We know they play Brood. Like, how much does this have to be in Team Nigma's head at this point?
It has to be a little bit, right? But so far the approach was we're just going to pick our own stuff. Oh wait, have we been debated?
We have been debated.
We have been debated. It's Team Liquid with Kotal and Monkey.
No, we have not been debated because the in-game is obviously correct. And the in-game is what we saw. So we have not been debated.
We have not been debated.
We're fine. This is it.
The double debate.
We're good. By the way, did you know that Puck is... So obviously all regions have their own little style and metas. Puck is the top pick, 80% pick ban rate in all regions. The only hero that has that. actual style and metas.
Okay,
Quack
that's
is the top pick.
the amount of
80%
times
ban
that he's
rate
been picked
in
and
all
banned,
Yeah,
right? Like
just the presence of the hero in the
Okay,
draft.
even after the nerfs, the hero is still in.
Yeah.
That's just the
Yeah, just
way
the
it is.
presence
We
of the
thought that
hero
after the
in
nerfs, he's going to fall off a little bit, but it definitely did not happen. And the flexibility is also one of those reasons why he's picked so often. You just put him on 4. If it doesn't work, even 5 is good, and then you pick something different on the mid lane. Bloodseeker.
Ooh.
You
Usually it's been Nigma going for the
Yeah.
Bloodseeker. This is like almost a deny pick in some ways, it feels like, because that's one of Nigma's most played heroes over the last 3 months.
Yeah.
And they would be so flexible with that Bloodseeker as well in Team Nigma, right? They would be picking it on offlane, they would be picking it on safe lane as well. But look, they also stole that Kotl away from Team Liquid. So we have seen, like, these two teams obviously know each other really, really well coming from the DPC League, and they're very well prepared.
Yeah, and I think that's where you kind of talk about the cheese picks. I think Nigma, more than other teams, is less worried about them because they know Liquid so well. Whereas the other teams who play Liquid are going to be like, we got to ban Lodrum, we got to ban the Vici, the Broods, because they don't get to play against those cheese picks in their own region. So I think for Nigma, they're a bit more comfortable letting them through because they've seen it before. They know how to play against them.
Definitely. And so far, Team Nigma, I know they're obviously playing with the stand with Armen here today instead of mind control throughout the season. Armen has stood in for Kuroki, who was on the sidelines for a while.
Yes! Do you miss the intense passion? Best teams in the world. Powerful emotions. Epic fights. Stunning rivalries. It's time for the biggest comeback.
I'll give you that. It's definitely brave, but you're also playing with the stand-in, like you mentioned, and that definitely puts you on the left foot. So how smart is it to give everything or allow them to?
Maybe they're left-footed though.
That's something that I was also thinking about. Maybe it's good that they have a little bit of a change. It will make Team Liquid draft a little bit differently and approach the game a little bit differently. And Team Nigma right now, they shut down this puck so hard with these 2 picks that I wouldn't even mind seeing him delegated to offlane or something.
But they can't be a support. They've got CM Earth Spirit. I mean, unless they're doing like some Earth Spirit mid, which I think would be hard to kind of flex into here. So
we have seen a lot of Mickey puck, right? And it still can be played by him, but maybe on a different lane. That's also a possibility. But so far, what I've noticed in EU, if a DK is picked into puck, you still play that lane. Like in China, let's say if you're picking puck, you're 100% banning out DK. You're not playing that lane, or at least you're dodging it if DK gets through somehow. However, in EU, usually puck just stays there and suffers, and then you get a couple of rotations and perhaps a couple of kills to come back. Okay, so far, Team Nigma, they have shown the Monkey King, which most likely will be their position 1. Meanwhile, Team Liquid, they're saving that last pick for possibly the carry, as Bloodseeker most likely will be the offlane. You think so as well?
I think so, yeah.
Yes, but Mickey has also been playing a lot of puck, so they can still flex this about. So they could just be looking for a Koikfa hero. I mean, we see the Lone Druid still banned out. You never know. Morphling as well removed.
It feels like Liquid need that big hero that's going to win in the game. Like, that's why Morphling gets banned out. I think Lone Druid's less that big hero, but more that kind of cheese pick. The Brood doesn't really work too well against DK, so it does feel like Liquid's going to need some big, hard carry in some sense. Even though they're not a late-game team, they need some kind of X-Factor hero here to get them over the edge.
Yeah, because for Team Nigma right now, they definitely do have that in Monkey King. As this hero, at the moment, with the Aghanim's build, can just accelerate his farm so hard. Okay, actually Ember Spirit.
Do you like that?
It's very interesting. Is this a Miracle Ember then? Offlane Monkey King, mid lane DK? It could be offlane DK as well, but you want to lane the DK into the puck, like 99%.
Is it? is it me? But if I look at the two supports on both teams, you got a Lion and a Keeper of the Light versus Earth Spirit CM. I would always want to be on the Earth Spirit CM team.
Not necessarily. There's
No?
so much synergy. Like, there are reasons why they picked it. Lion is really strong versus the puck. You get a lot of disables. Right now, Lion is in a good spot. Plus, you have this Kotl plus Ember lane that will be slight fisting you down with Chakram. Yeah, so there are definitely reasons why Team Nigma drafted the way they did, and it looks all right.
Yeah, I think what the Earth Spirit brings is that kind of activity where he's going to be moving around the map, making plays, whereas Nigma's going to be more set, static in their lanes. But their lanes are just so strong that, you know, Taiga has a lot of pressure on him to actually do a lot on this Earth Spirit if Liquid want to have a chance in the early game, it feels like.
Yeah, now the question is, what do they go for on Team Liquid?
What did they go
Is this going to be some cheese from Koikwa? Is it going to be some Lone Druid? Actually, Lone Druid banned out, never mind.
The Brood is still in. This is not a Brood game, though, right? No.
I
mean, do you want to really open up your, you know, the first major? Okay, well, never mind. They go for Venomancer.
Kind of cheese, yeah.
Yeah, it's really good versus Monkey King. It's one of the reasons why they picked it. Like Venomancer, it's just horrible matchup for Monkey King throughout the game. In the laning stage, if you play against him, you just can't lane. Later on as well, the dots are constantly on you, so that's a problem too. But overall, where the strength lies in Team Liquid is that you need to buy BKB so fast versus them. There is just an abundance of magic damage.
Yeah, now Team Nigma does normally play for the later game, so they definitely have set themselves up to try and get there. But we also know that Liquid likes to end things early, generally, or at least take a big lead early. Who do you favor in this one, Gods?
I think at least for now, I have to go with Liquid. I think their draft is solid. I think Nigma, the Coddle Ember is going to cause problems, but Liquid playing with their full strength lineup, until we see a bit more from Nigma, I'm going to have to go with Liquid for game one at least.
Yeah, let's keep the panel synchronized. I'm going with Gods as well. I really think that, well, first and foremost, Liquid isn't playing with the stand-in, and after that, they also have a very spooky-looking lineup. So
I think you guys both hit the nail on the head. You can't really go for Team Nigma until we've seen them play with our men standing in. And so I also will go for Team Liquid, but I am curious to hear from you guys, like, what needs to go well? Is there one lane in particular that, Gods, you're going to look towards and say, well, if this lane goes well for Team Nigma, that's, you know, I'm at full confidence that they're going to do this?
Yeah, I think in some ways it's more about the lanes not going badly. Like, they don't want to let Taiga's Earth Spirit roam around, set up a lot of kills, make a lot of plays happen. So it's more about just having solid lanes more than, like, winning or crushing a lane.
Yeah.
I think particularly the Monkey King versus, you know, Venom matchup you talked about. I think Monkey King needs to get off to a good start. If any hero you want to have a good game, it's going to be the Monkey King for me.
And does that also mean then, if you see 10 minutes in, Lizard, you know, you looked away for a little bit, you look back 10 minutes in, and you see gold difference, 0, 1K difference, kills somewhat even, you're going to favor Liquid in this draft?
Not necessarily. I think that Liquid, like you guys just mentioned, they need to be the ones getting that early advantage, and if the goal difference is kind of even 15-20 minutes in, that means that Nigma is doing something extremely right.
Yeah.
And they're finding space, and they
oh yeah, I meant Nigma is doing well. That's sorry. Yes.
Yeah, they definitely can take this late game, and it's going to be on Ember. Like, he should have a very good laning stage with the Kotl, right? If they use the double sleight of fist very well, and if he gets a good laning stage, itemizes for those early items, for the early impact items, that is, he can definitely create enough space for Monkey to come online.
And I don't know, I didn't look close enough, I wasn't fast enough. Did you guys see who's playing what on the side of Team Nigma? I wasn't fast enough.
Yeah, me neither.
Oh, darn it.
I think we was playing Monkey King, but I can't say for sure.
Okay, we also have a little bit of a delay here, so we get some time to talk about this, because we kind of didn't have that much time beforehand. And in case you missed it, the wild cards, 3 teams are gonna make it through. The other 3, they're on a plane back home in 2 days from now. That's brutal, Gods. There's so much pressure on this series.
Yeah, especially when you think of the teams that are, like, some of the teams playing here in this wildcard. They're teams you'd expect to be playing on the final day of the tournament.
Yeah.
Nigma, Liquid, PSG.LGD, Vici
Gaming. If you look at this, if you look at the 6 teams, I don't know. I might be old-fashioned. When I think about wildcards, Gods, I'm sure you're the same. You think of the wildcards of the TI, you know. the wildcards of TI don't even get to be considered to be placements at TI. And normally they're the teams that, of course they're in the wildcard. You don't, you don't expect them anywhere else. And this is like, you said it during rehearsals yesterday, Lizard. This could be a tournament on its own.
Yeah, this could be a tournament on its own. It's so strong. The competitiveness within these teams is just so high. Like, they're all tier 1. They're all okay. Maybe Gambit, when you look at them, maybe they're the underdogs in this wildcard. But even them, because they just had a change, right? In the middle of the league, they changed FN for no one, and they're just a very solid team on their own. So.
Same thing for T1, who just added 23 Savage as well recently. Like, he's one of the most promising players in the Southeast Asian region. So I don't think the four teams we mentioned from Europe and China can take for granted that they're the ones competing for the 3 slots, because Gambit as well as T1, these are amazing teams as well.
Yeah, T1 of course also playing with the stand in here.
Yeah, it's
we
for
couldn't make it over. Forev is standing in, but yeah, you guys are absolutely right. All of these teams, all of these 6 teams have proven throughout the season that they deserve to have a good shot here, and they can. Like, a lot of these teams could make it all the way. Or maybe not all the way, but definitely make it to the top 10. And I think that's where people want to be. Top 10 is where the top 10 is where the points are at. Am I right in saying that, or is it top 12?
Well, top 10 for sure then.
Yeah, maybe. I'm with Shiva.
Thank you.
I believe you, Shiva.
Blind faith. I like it. By the way, what you're saying about AS Monaco Gambit, yeah, they did change no one, and it did look a little bit shaky at the start. I am very curious, and this actually goes for all the teams. It's been what, like 4 weeks, apart from for the Chinese teams. For everybody else, it's been 4 weeks since the league season is over. I'm curious what's figured out after that, because we haven't had a patch. There's been a lot of data on a lot of these teams, so a lot of time to practice, a lot of time to scrims, and there's so much on the line here that I'm gonna imagine that I'm expecting, like, I could do research on the drafts and stuff, but I don't think that's going to be useful. It's going to be all different this time around.
And even when there's no patch, I feel like the meta changes. Like what we saw at the start of the DPC season, like there
it's
were some
completely
heroes,
different.
I think OD was one of the most highly valued pick, at least in the NA region, and I think some of the other regions. But by the end, people like, this OD hero is not actually that good. Like, people stop picking OD, or at least prioritize a lot lower. So meta changes without patches.
Yeah, we had a small patch though during the league, right? A very small one that did nerf OD. Yeah, did nerf OD a little bit, nerfed Puck a little bit, but
nerfed Shaker, thank goodness.
Yeah, Shaker was pretty much dumpstered in that patch. Like, it's not a hero anymore, which is a bit sad. But looking at these drafts that we have just witnessed, it doesn't look very different from what they've drafted before. It's very, very similar, and I doubt the teams are going to step away from what they have been playing for 3 months very easily, even if some new discoveries have been made. I think we will see very similar drafts.
I guess they got to find out first if their old style will work here or not, right?
And what they may find is that another region that they haven't played against has a better understanding of the meta, has a better understanding what heroes work, and then they have to kind of innovate what they're doing, take some things like, okay, this other region's using this hero, we got to play this hero or we're going to lose. So you often see that TI where teams start mimicking the team that has the best results because they know the meta better than others.
Yeah. I also think that one thing that we haven't mentioned yet, for both of these teams, the difference from playing online to playing on LAN is, I would say, for Team Liquid Lizard, it's not that big. They normally perform somewhat similarly. For Team Nigma, however, they are a LAN squad.
Yeah, they definitely are. Throughout the years, historically, they've been doing much better in the LAN environment. In some LANs, maybe they don't show up. Like in some minors, if you remember, they didn't really work that well, but
they won the most recent minor. And then they failed to qualify for the one after that. But that, that was an online qualifier, God. So they've got an excuse. They just need everything to be on LAN, and then they're golden.
Yeah, I mean that's why they've had historically done so well at the international as well. Getting second place, winning TI, like these guys just step it up. And even with the standard, I think you got to look at them and say if they make it past this wildcard stage, they're a really big threat.
They really don't have an excuse, right? Because if you look at RMN, he's been like I think like a year or two ago, he's been very high ranked player, so he should be very mechanically skilled still. And if you remember OG on the Epicenter Major, they played with Soshka, right?
Yeah.
And they did pretty well too there. Now they didn't reach the highest of heights, but
Yeah.
I
they were
mean,
solid.
we've seen it from, you know, Seb himself. The coach turned two-time TI champion.
There
You
you
know,
go.
there's a lot of coaches that are wanting to maybe fall into his footsteps. We actually have another team that has a coach, which is also called Mad, by the way. You know, he's playing, so it is, you know, we'll see.
Two
Maybe
Mads.
this is the time. 2021 is the season of the coaches. Who knows? By the way, while we have some time, one thing that we also still wanted to show you is that for these two teams, there were a lot of question marks regarding who is playing which role, mostly, of course, on the side of Team Nigma. And not just because they had a stand-in, but also because they've been experimenting, I would say, with Weeha and Miracle switching mid to carry, which means there's only one role that we are 100% certain of who is playing it. And that's GH, and we're gonna take a quick look at him and his comparison to his counterpart on Team Liquid, which is of course Taiga Lizard.
Yeah, you can see straight off the bat that when it comes to kill participation, they're very similar. Hero damage as well, tower damage. It goes a little bit in GH's favor, which is a little bit surprising for me, considering what sort of heroes Taiga also likes to play.
Is this me or is this an old photo of GH? Where's his hair? He has such fluffy hair now. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, I distracted you
No,
from
no, no,
actual
it's-
topics.
It's fine, it's fine. I've been wearing the mask, you didn't see, but I've had a little bit
beard?
of a little bit of a beard, yeah, as well.
Did you take any before and after pictures before you trimmed it?
No.
Should have.
Should have, definitely. No, I think it's probably for the best that I didn't. It didn't look that great. Not as fluffy, not as cute as GH's whole mess looks like.
What do you think the difference will be for GH and Taiga with the Earth Spirit versus Keeper of the Light? Two very different style heroes, gods.
Yeah, I mean, for Taiga, it's about being active. I think for GH, it's about just playing the lane and securing, using. I think the thing with Cuddle that's we're seeing the really good Cuddle plays is the recalls.
Yeah.
Just the fact you can move heroes around the map, because TP scrolls in some ways. I think AUI who he put it really well. It's kind of like your ultimate in the early game. When you use that TP scroll, you put it on cooldown for 2 minutes. It's a big resource to use, but when you've got this Cuddle who can recall people around, it allows you to make these really kind of strategic moves and rotations that catch your opponent by surprise.
And when I think about GH and his starting days, I think about Kotal quite a lot. Like it's one of his signature heroes. Like we talked about Liquid and how much Insania plays it, but hey, Insania, move aside. This guy has been playing it for just as long, if not even longer.
And you know how there's a saying of absence makes the heart grow fonder? You know, the longer we delay the game, the more excited you're going to be with it. Well, don't worry. This is finally the time where we're going to go into the game. And I know you are super excited for this first game of the One Esports Dota 2 Singapore Major. So let's waste no more time and head over to OD Pixel and Lacoste.
Thank you very much, Shiva. Yes, we're just pretty much ready to get this one started. Nigma versus Team Liquid. It's going to be a very exciting start to the major here, Lacoste. What do you expect from this, from the lineups that we've got coming out here for this first series?
Oh, for sure, man. I can't actually believe we're back to the LAN. You said it, you know, exciting game ahead of us. I just want to see how Nigma is going to lane their heroes. A bit worried for Team Liquid because they really don't have that much tower damage. The only tower damage they have is pretty much the Venomancer. So, like, I've also worried that they don't have any abilities that go through magic immunity. So, like, once Nigma gets the BKBs on their cores, on the Monkey, possibly on the, like, even the Dragon Knight.
Yeah, I mean, that is true. That is, once the BKBs are out, I mean, what do they do? For Liquid in this sort of game, do you sort of see this as a game where Liquid is, they're going to aim to sort of run this one over and shut it down within the 30 minutes?
Yeah, they definitely need to win this early game. I don't think their heroes can match up well against what Team Nigma has in the late game. So, yeah, they definitely need to put a bit more pressure. And, you know, what I'm hyped about? It's Davion. Like, I think we should not call him Dragonite at all. We should just call him Davion.
They asked for Season 2. This is it. You know, RMN's bringing it here. Well, we'll see how he does in this episode. Here we have some action already. Liquid trying to get out and look for something. But not able to quite find it. So as you said, that lane matchup's going to be very important here. Who's trying to dodge who? Is there any sort of core matchup here that a team's going to really try and do their best to make sure it doesn't happen in these first bits of laning?
I think Nigma is definitely more flexible because they have a Dragon Knight. Dragon Knight doesn't have too many bad matchups here. There's a lot of, slows coming up from the Earth Spirit, from the Crystal Maiden, Venomancer, so it's going to be a bit problematic for, like, Monkey King and Dragon Knight to play the game before, like, they get the BKBs. Also, like, I don't feel like the Bloodseeker is going to be able to do that much against, like, Monkey King is one of the better heroes against the Bloodseeker. Like, even if you use Rupture on him, he pops the ulti and just stands there, pretty much impossible to kill. So here we are, Owen, hype it up.
Here we go. Bounty Rude times. We've already got some courier action coming in from We Are. He's sneaking in. And over here to set up for the bottom lane. He's going to be joined by the duo to start things off, running that tri-lane down Enigma against that bottom lane Venomancers. We are indeed seeing Mickey this time round take to the mid lane puck. See how he does against Miracle. I mean, I guess we're sort of expected to see this right with Nigma. They said they were sort of changing things up, trying things a bit different. Do you imagine we're going to see pretty much Miracle back to mid in most of the games from Nigma this tournament?
Probably. There's a bit of a difference how we and Miracle play mid, and I think everyone just wants to see Miracle on that mid lane. Dragon Knight on the top lane, like, he's pretty safe, I would say, starting out with the Bracer and the point in Dragonblood. There's going to be a lot of harassment until someone decides to show. Here comes GH, point in Illuminate, has a healing salve, has a lot of regen actually on the hero. We talked about, you and me, about like, when they started the draft, like, you asked me about the other regions. Like, Keeper of the Light's really not contested that much, especially in Chinese region, in Southeast Asia from time to time. But yeah, you said it, like, Europe just loves it.
They really do. I mean, and for understandable reasons as well, right? This hero with the ability to sort of bring people across the map, to have such a great way of preparing stacking, multiple camps, cleaning them up yourself as well if you wish. And of course, having that great team fight potential down the line with the Will-O-Wisp. Do choose to go that route. A lot of magical things to be done with it, and especially when it's in the hands of someone like GH, you can definitely expect to see some big plays and big moves coming out because of him being on this hero.
GH already in the triangle trying to stack. There's two observer wards, like, pretty deep one coming up from Team Liquid that scouted out the lanes, how they're going to set things up, and one on the high ground. Like, they want to see what's happening in the triangle. Are they stacking? They don't have, like, the best, like, post 6-7 minutes, they have enough to actually take the stacks with the Bloodseeker and Puck once he has his spells maxed out. GH trying to run away from Insania, both heroes level 1 still. Kind of a slow start.
Yeah, no killing quite yet. We're seeing on the CS mid lane, bit of an edge for Mickey, 15 for 1 against the 12 for 1 of Miracle. And on the side lanes, are we seeing anyone get left out? I mean, we kind of are down bottom. A bit of a slow start for the Ven. Top lane, bit of an attempt to be made onto RMN. Got right in, but again with the Bracer. And just that 1 point in the passive is just a little too much for Boxing and Insania to bite through. In fact, Insania taking some big damage here from the blast of GH.
GH doing a very good job, just blasting away, pulling the side, keeping out of the XP range, so Dragon Knight can't hit that level 3. Bottom. 2 points in Dragon Blood, bottom lane.
We are.
Oh, nice deny.
Very, very nicely done there by Kuro. I mean, indeed, tips out as well. As looked to be a little bit of a messy attempt. I mean, this is always going to be the problem. Even though Quake was having a bit of a slow start, he's starting to pick up now, and we'll be able to do so, of course, with that little bit of time. Monkey King out of the lane. You got to be careful how you go on this Fenner, right? It can be very tempting when you get the Jingu stacks up, but if you're not quite able to finish him, he's just going to be able to slow you down and kite you up.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you can't really afford to go on a Venomancer unless you can just bring him from 100 to 0, or like from 50 to 0 where he's sitting at right now.
Top. A bit of an attempt to at least try and harass RMN out of the lane. Again, just very unlikely for Liquid to ever really be able to get the kill out of this. So as much as they try and beat him back, RMN not having too much trouble finding some good levels and farm from that top lane.
And everyone is full HP, so Bloodseeker's really not getting too much out of that thirst. Putting a second point in the Blood Right. Once Crystal Maiden gets like level 3, also needs to get some extra mana regen to be able to, just keep spamming the spell. Aura is up, but it's a level 1 Aura. Some Mango, some Clarities would help out. Taiga lurking around the mid lane. Interesting build on the Miracle on the mid. No points in the Flame Guard against the puck. Just going for more of a like, I want to push out the lane with the Slight and more control with the Searing Chains against the puck.
Yeah, the route's going to be incredible. If they get any sort of rotation around towards the mid, you are going to have that skill set to really set up. It's top lane. Ironman trying to get in onto Insane, not quite enough to finish him off.
Oh, bottom lane, there it is.
This time round, Weeharp and Kuro able to finish up the kill. Tiger, he's trying to go for Wee. Is he going to be able to find
the salve?
Weeharp's going to be able to keep himself alive. The roll forward from Tiger will secure the trade. As Tiger will make sure that Quincy doesn't die for nothing in the bottom lane.
Oh, that was such a clutch play there. Salve didn't really work out, but could make hell of a lot of a difference. Top lane, they are actually getting a kill. Dragonite, he put a point in the Dragon Tail on level 4 just to have that extra stun, extra ability. A lot of damage coming up from Keeper of the Light.
It was a sweet attempt there for Kuro. In fact, the Gale and the roll both missing. But still, enough damage to be done to take out Kuro before the TP was successful. This thing's starting to certainly kick up a little bit now on these side lanes, now that the levels have really come in. In the mid, though, a lot more farm has been found by Mickey in this laning stage.
Yeah, he's like
got
19 CS ahead of Miracle at the moment. He's also level 6, so they need to be very careful if they decide to like dive the tower. Rune is spawning, bottom. It's gonna be Illusion Rune. Not the best one for Puck, but it's gonna fill the bottle, gonna do the job.
Yeah. Always nice to have against an Ember that's, you know, already put a few points into the chains. If Miracle does try and make an attempt onto him. Now, and we'll see what Miracle's going to be able to do, because in this sort of game, especially when Mickey's at this start, when you've gone for this build on the Ember with no points in the Flame Guard, right, you're not able to jungle efficiently at all, right? You've got to be looking for action as soon as possible and really putting into play this slight chain skill build that you've gone for. You can't spend time hitting creeps to catch up.
Yeah, with this type of a build, you want to be a bit more active. Top lane, GH.
This time, TP's coming in fact, 2 of them from Nigma as they look to turn onto Liquid jump forward, and this is what we're talking about. Miracle makes the moves, gets involved. Now he's going to turn over towards Insane as well. The setup's there from RMN as this move should secure them, the 2 of them. RMN is going to make sure there's no escape, and this is what you've got to see, especially with the buffer from GH. This cold really enabling Miracle's Ember to make these sort of moves and for them to have a really hard hit with the slide chains.
Yeah, and you can see Nigma having great understanding, like who needs the TP first. If it was first TP Lion, they don't get that kill because Miracle can close the gap with the Fire Remnant, and they also give him the second kill so that he actually gets something out of that rotation to the top lane. Puck is level 8, high level, you know, 2 points in Vanning Rift once they have Illusory or maxed out, just to be able to like push out the waves easily. How's Vano doing? Vano, you know, sitting at the middle of the network chart, earn power treads. Problem is, you know, Monkey King really does not like to play into Vano. Yeah. Never, pretty much. Like, even when you have a BKB, your BKB is down, you're still gonna feel the pain coming up from the Venomancer.
Eyeing up Weeharp. Tower, a little bit of a tricky dive for them to go for if they do want to. Mickey is going to be able to grab himself a double damage rune from the bottle, so a lot of potential here from this Puck. I mean, his farm still continues to be flawless.
Roll on the top lane.
Going to get some moves here coming in. The kickback as well with the Rupture combo. Ironman taking huge amounts of damage here from Boxy and Tiger as he will slowly but surely go down. The rotation has been made. Miracle's in, but Mickey's there
Two-man
as well.
coil.
Coil down onto the 2 of them. Miracle locked in position, taken out. Now with Tiger's further control, they'll finish off Kuroki as well as Nigma. They try and make a similar move as they did earlier on that top lane this time round. Liquid's prepared, and Mickey with this incredible amount of farm that he's got the levels as well. This is level 9 Puck.
And not just that, he's also stealing the stacks right now, something that I talked about, like he doesn't have everything maxed out, but he came here with the double damage, has that Royal Jelly, has Arcane Aura, so he can just spam out his spells going into Witchblade first item, which is like very interesting. That's
yeah, we're seeing this is sort of, especially Mickey, and we are as well big fan of this from his build on the Puck in the DPC season. This was something that these aggressive Puck players really love to do in EU.
I kind of like it here because they need to be able to scale. Like, they don't have the best late game heroes. But yeah, if you itemize for the right click, I think that's the play here on Puck.
Also finding, you say, not just the jelly, but also getting that Fairy's Trinket. Pretty much the dream item for any of these active nukers like the Puck that's going to be having that extra potency to the damage output. Top lane Tiger, he's coming in again. Foxy and Xenia set up. Now looking to make the moves onto RMN. Again, the combo. He's going to try for the TP out. He's going to be able to make it in time. He is. Smart heads up move there from RMN. Keeps him alive as he holds his ground. TP's out. An extra little bit of safety.
Zoning ulti from Tiger. Just says enough. We are not taking this fight. Solo coil.
Okay, he's going to take the easy kills. He wants to keep this game looking nice and smooth. 2-0, won over 100 CS here at the 10-minute mark on Mickey's Puck. He is very far ahead, already 2k ahead of Miracle's Ember. I mean, I don't think you get much of a better start on the Puck, you know, when you see what Mickey's giving us this game.
It's a 10-minute Witchblade, Power Treads, Double Null Talisman. Oh my god.
I mean, he's going to be tearing up the map. They've got to be prepared for this Puck.
And you can't make the trade. Like Team Liquid putting the pressure with the Venomancer, one of the worst heroes you kind of want to gank. He's going into Spirit Vessel against the Dragon Knight, against the Monkey King. 5k gold lead suddenly for Team Liquid. Like this is the type of game that they needed to play. Like they need to have a lot of advantage early on. Man, Puck is just insanely good hero, even though they like have counters, Lion throughout the DPC and all other regions top lane. He's gonna drop.
He's gone. Kuro, is he gonna be able to get his way out of it? Tiger, he's looking for the angle, won't find it with the roll free, but he finds it with the kick. Able to slow down Kuro and set up a second kill for Boxy up top. It's now 9-4, 6k lead here for Liquid. And this is playing out exactly as you imagine Liquid needed to do.
You know, I'm worried about once that gold per minute advantage gets 1k per minute. You know, it's getting there. It's getting very close.
Top Tiger. Oh, he even just found himself another GH. He's going to have backup coming in. It's Kuro.
Kuro also used the fingers, didn't get any of the stacks. Hex is available.
Got Miracle coming in. That will provide just enough lockdown to punish Tiger, but again, when you bring in sort of 4 heroes over to deal with Tiger's pressure. So a lot of space just being created by Tiger as the rest of his cores continue to happily farm away. Liquid, as you can see, all 3 of their cores right now in the top spots on the net worth. A lot of catching up to be done from Nigma, and it's not going to be easy to do so. Again, with this Miracle skill build, this slight chains, he had to be fine in action. He's never going to catch back up in the farm. They've got to get kills. But now with Liquid's cores starting to get as far as ahead as they are, it's not going to be easy anymore for, even with the backup of GH, to enable Miracle enough to actually get in, get kills without putting his own life at risk.
Top lane, yeah, problem is they don't have that one initiator, someone who can start the fight. Mickey, he's going in, doesn't even use the coil.
Right click down, they'll turn over towards RMN as well. It's just easy kills here for Liquid. Boxy now dominating, and Mickey's game continuing to be just completely flawless on his Puck.
Tiger still chasing, trying to get GH, but yeah. It's very hard to take control of the map, like once Venomancer goes there, sets a couple of wards. Same goes for the Beastmaster. I would compare these 2 heroes. We don't see too much of a Venomancer, very like a situational hero, but once he takes over like the enemy bottom part of the map, like it's very hard to take over it. You need to smoke to be able to actually gank him, because all the vision provided by the Plague Wards. Miracle still not a single point in a Flame Guard. I guess the reason is because he also has like Keeper of the Light in his team, so wants to be able to get the max out of Slight and the chains. But the problem is, once again, they can't really start a fight. Like, it's very hard for Nigma right now to make any aggressive moves. They want to farm up, they want to get those BKBs online. Dragon Knight also decided to get Hood first item, so like no Blink Dagger, can't initiate. Nigma, they just need to like defend the tower with Keeper of the Light, not get too out-farmed. Try to farm those BKBs. Bottom lane.
Right. Xenia, he's just standing his ground, dropping the ult. Kuro. Oh, he's not able to get it. He throws out the finger, but it's not enough damage.
It's the second finger that did not give him any stacks.
It's not one of the fun games for the Lion. Poor old Kuro. Never feels good when you're not getting those stacks up. Okay, lead to the 15-minute mark. Liquid are able to maintain the bounty control. Continue to get very far ahead this game. I mean, Mickey still, very close to sort of doubling the net worth of Miracle. Miracle getting gone on in the mid. He's got the backup of GH by his side. That'll be enough to stop Liquid from diving any further. Top lane.
There's the Spirit Vessel. Like, Dragon Knight's not gonna be that tanky.
No, not at all. He's getting torn through here by the damage of Quaver. Tiger coming in as well to offer that extra bit of a punch. He'll pop the hood, RMN. He's going to try and stand his ground, go for the TP out. Is he away? He is. Not quite able to get back in on top of him, Tiger, to take him down in time, as RMN will live to see another day. Now, turnaround comes into play. Chains out onto Tiger. They'll punish the Earth Spirit. Kuro trying to set up for more, but Mickey jumps across, coiled down onto Kuroki.
Dragon Knight managed to get out, but problem is, once again, they have no save for coil. Puck uses coil on someone, that target is pretty much dead. Now with the Spirit Vessel, Monkey King won't be able to life steal.
He just goes right into the three of them. They're going to turn and try and chase him down and see if they can punish Mickey. For his aggression, they've got the opening stun. The follow-round strike isn't enough. It is.
That's a big kill. That's actually a huge kill. And we gets the last hit on it, has that Maelstrom, has a Possessed Mask, so like he can sustain. He has tools to farm up, just needs to get that BKB. Even though it's a 10k gold lead, I still feel if Nigma manages to like win another fight, get those BKBs a bit closer, like Ember Spirit going straight into BKB after finishing Orb of Corrosion. Dragon Knight, I think he will need to get like a Blink Dagger to be able to initiate mid lane. Ember Spirit.
Back up here. Not enough damage at the moment between Tiger and Asenia to take him out. So, yeah, definitely a bit of a chance here for Nigma to hit back after a bit of an unnecessary play there from Mickey. I mean, he did pretty much just jump in solo against 4 heroes. Miracle
don't
was
talk
low.
to me about unnecessary plays. Owen, I play with you a lot, you know. I played with your Magnus, 4 overwhelming blinks. Don't talk to me about unnecessary.
Mickey knows. He was going for the big potential on that. You know, if he's able to get in, kill Miracle, get out, and he knows it's 4 heroes, then it's all worth it. But just wasn't able to play out there as Mickey imagined himself. As Boxing continuing to get bigger and bigger as well. S and Y done on top of the Maelstrom. Even if they do land the stuns on this Bloodseeker, they may just struggle for the damage to take him out. Mid lane, Miracle getting jumped by the Dream Core. Tigers in, but Kura's able to time the stun out. On the turn, Counter Strike out on the 3. They're taking
got him again.
They're moving on to Tiger. They're going to have the damage to take Tiger out as well. 2 down. Boxing can turn things around. Blood right out, the 2 of them. Attempted to TP out there by VR, and Kuro is immediately put to a stop for his Boxy's got the damage.
Just gonna clean him up.
Double kill for the Bloodseeker.
They have so much overtime damage. Boxy's still chasing, decides he's not gonna go in. Like, Boxy's actually so farmed right now. Level 16, 2000 HP on a Bloodseeker, 21 armor. Pretty much impossible to take down. Like, they need to use the finger, hold him inside of Wukong's command to actually bring him down. They have so many problems. Like, yeah, you managed to kill the puck, but Bloodseeker's kind of taking over.
Still a little too much for Nigma to deal with, even when they do get that sort of a start to it all. They throw themselves all in on one hero.
Interesting build by Boxy. Like, he just bought Cloak 18 minutes in and then queues up a BKB.
Alright. Which is sort of a
and
bit of
doesn't even want to use the Cloak.
Wait, I mean, surely he's gonna switch it into his inventory in the fights, right?
For sure, yeah. I mean, see, he still has raindrops, so once they burn the raindrops, he can keep that Quelling Blade in.
Oh, do you like that pretty cost efficient, a bit of a casual cloak at any stage of the game?
Well, I think it's a bit of an overcommitment here. Like, it's a bit too late. They also don't have that much magical damage anyway. They have Finger.
That's true, actually. I mean,
Illuminate.
Maybe he just likes the cloak. There you go. It's a bit chilly. Gets his cloak on.
That's not a Cloak of Invis, you know, that's not a Harry Potter cloak.
Tiger. Okay, coming with a backup, it ends up being just a bit of a bait for Tiger, as Tiger's going to be fine. They've committed it on him. We're going to see if they can find Miracle here in the trees, and they can. They've got the lockdown, they have the damage.
Insania's positioning has been great. Like, his ulties, they can't get close, they can't stop him. They're doing a very good job also protecting the CM, zoning them out. Problem is, they can't really go for the high ground. Still not enough tower damage. Venomancer did some. You know, you have Puck, but still, like, Puck with the damage talent, you still need to take a fight, kill a couple of heroes. Pushing in the Keeper of the Light, you're never gonna feel, like, that confident.
But as you say, so still, despite the numbers, despite the big lead that Liquid have, you feel that this game, if Nigma, if they can hold, they get sort of BKBs plus one offensive item on their cores, the game can stand the chance to take a bit of a turn.
This game's not over, you know, even though it's a 13k gold lead, 20 minutes in. If they manage to farm their BKBs, Weeha's getting close to one. Hauser, Davion feeding as he does in anime as well. Bought a Blink Dagger, so pretty much no gold lost.
Down here we are. Try and stand his ground. He's able to get the ult off in time, and also gets the Jinku stacks build up, so Bo2 can no longer fully commit onto Tiger. He's going to try and roll back in, and okay, with the extra burst from Insania at the side, they've got enough to clean him up before he can get any more hits off and benefit from that lifesteal.
Even though, like, Monkey's great against Bloodseeker, he's not that great against Earth Spirit, because he can still kick you, you're gonna take the damage. I mean, Team Liquid, they really love Bloodseeker paired up with anything that can move you, whether like that was a mag. There was a time when they were like just spamming Bloodseeker and Tiny with the Toss Rupture combination.
Definitely the execution down to a T. Multiple times, and being able to really enable the Rupture potential from Boxy. Boxy now full BKB on his way over, so that the tool's really coming into play for Liquid to push this to the next level and try and close up once they do have this significant advantage.
Team Liquid should just try to take another fight, get a kill or two, transition that into Roche, Radiant using a scan inside the pit, see what's going on.
Oh, and Mickey, he jumped in, he's gone aggressive. There's 4 heroes here. Mickey, what's he doing? I mean, that's a bit of a similar play to as he done earlier. He can't afford to do these sort of moves, Lacoste.
It's a lot of gold, it's a lot of experience. He's high level, level 17 at the moment, trying to farm up that Blink Sphere, so there's not going to be Blink initiation. There was also RMN with his Blink Dagger. Dragon Knight's tanky, not that tanky against the Spirit Vessel, so he's going to be brought down once again.
Could at least able to get a kill back in return, but these deaths on the Puck, you know, despite the incredible lead that Mickey has, that is going to be the sort of move that does lead to Nigma getting more time for themselves to get these items online. Bottom, diving in onto Kuro, Boxy, and Tiger will be able to clean him up. Nigma just trying to do their best with the space that they are having being created for them. Top lane Miracle able to push that wave right out. We are also able to play down on the bottom half. Insania's on the hunt. Defensive Remnant is prepared though. Miracle, he's away. We are 100 gold away from the BKB. So the BKB, they're going to be there. And even though they're 16k down Lacoste, they've still got all the tier 2s up. You know, Nigma, it really is. This game is a lot closer than the numbers show.
For sure, because, you know, these BKBs, once they're online, they have Rupture. Puck is not going to have that Aghanim Scepter for quite some time. So yeah, they will have no abilities that go through Magic Immunity, completely nullify like damage coming out from the Crystal Maiden, coming out from the Earth Spirit. So yeah, they just need to get those BKBs up. Miracle also getting very close to his, just 100 gold away. I think it's smoke time. Like, once they get it, they can actually start playing a bit more aggressive. Davion also going for that BKB. But yeah, has only 600 gold.
It's going to take him a bit of time. At least, yeah, we're still having that hood to keep him a little bit covered between not having the BKB and getting it done. And here we have it. So, I mean, as you say, if they do want to go for that sort of smoke play, who do you think's most important for them to try and catch and commit on and,
if they can kill
before
Mickey,
the BKBs are done?
Like Mickey, he has a Lincoln Sphere now. Lincoln Sphere, so it's going to be a bit harder for them to initiate. They need to I don't know, because Lion doesn't have a Blink Dagger, so it's not gonna be that easy. Dragon Knight, they also don't have too many abilities to just pop the Lincolns with.
Though Liquid doing that at this at a speed that Nigma aren't going to be prepared for, or at least have the time to get over the pit in any sort of moment. So Boxy, it's going to be a tough one to deal with next fight come round. Not that he already wasn't. Now with that Aegis as well, this Bloodseeker is definitely going to take some dealing with. And Nigma, now that the Aegis has gone the way of Liquid, does this sort of change the plan? Are you still looking to get aggressive with these BKBs, or just sort of have to put a bit of slow on it now?
Yeah, you still want to take possibly a fight. There's a tier 1 tower on the bottom, so they can TP, but if someone gets caught, someone that's not Puck, let's see who's TPing. Yeah, it's actually going to be Mickey.
Tiger set things up. Iron Man does at the back on the side, but Mickey's quick to jump over onto Kuroki. Kuroki will fall. Tiger trying to hunt for more. Mickey as well, seeing if he can get any further catch. Iron Man, he's going to blink up in a second. He may just be able to get his way out of this. Miracle.
Oh, he wants to go in, not out, I think, at this point.
Let's have a little split up though. Weehaw, he's going to need some backup. Does always have the option of BKBing and TPing out. He's going to put the BKB in. He's just going to try and get the lifesteal going. He's going to try and channel the ult, but he's taking huge amounts of damage. Can he really stay alive? He can't. It's enough from Liquid to take him out even through the BKB, as they're able to combo him so low that by the time he got the BKB off, he only had a few hundred more HP to work.
Yeah, Weehaw was caught alone there. Everyone else kind of bailed. Lanes were pushing in, the mid lane, top lane, like even the bottom lane, so they need to address that problem before they make an aggressive move. There's still Bloodseeker with that Aegis, with, what, 3.5 minutes. Puck still deciding, you know, which route he's going to go for. Does he need more damage? He had the Desolator queued up, now going into that Aghanim Scepter. I like Aghanim Scepter a bit more. You can still go back for the damage, but yeah, Aghanim Scepter that is going to keep them in place even with the BKBs.
See on top Miracle. Having to put the BKB here to get away. I should say just 100 or so, about 1,000 gold or so away from having the answer to that and stop that potential for Miracle to dodge out with the BKB. See what they're prepared for next. Bottom lane, Weehaw trying to scout out an area that you can get back to farming in safely. Liquid still keeping the pressure up. Poitfer seeing himself deep inside Nigma's jungle, making sure that the sort of the spaces available for Nigma's cores to farm in are getting shut down. He's going to step out. Poitfer going to have a bit of a poke at this.
At this point, I think you can like kill Venomancer because he's way too tanky. He has that the spell lifesteal, has a 4-staff for RMN.
I'm gonna try and chase him down in the two of them. Gale connects. He's gonna go out with a TP and Kuro. Make sure
Just
that he's
TP
safe.
out. It's that easy. So yeah, Venomancer, they can't really kill Venomancer unless they like commit with the 3-4 heroes possibly. There's the Rupture.
See we are. Stands his ground. BKB's out, finger down onto Tiger. This is one thing they can certainly do now, Nick. If Liquid try and dive in past towers, they can hold their ground, take him out. Mickey trying to get him with some extra damage. Onto Weeha's got to be careful though. RMN, Miracle, Kuro all by Weeha's side, ready to turn. Boxy trying to stick around for the creep here. Jump forwards there from RMN, but Mickey's still around. Starts to turn back in onto the Dragon Knight. Liquid will collapse immediately onto RMN. This time RMN will go down.
Kuro misses a stun, does not have a finger, needs to be very careful. Kuro's very vulnerable. The Puck, like Puck can just solo kill him with the Witchblade. Also Lincoln's here, so you need to use 2 of your abilities to actually lock him down. Aghanim Scepter done. Also Arcane Rune, Coil is up. Now he's going back in for a bit more damage. That Desolator, something that's going to help him out with taking the towers, which I really like. Because you already said, like, they still have tier 2 towers alive, even though it's 22k gold lead.
Holding very well, Nigma, considering the pressure and the lead that Liquid does currently have against them.
Keeper of the Light finishes his Aghanim Scepter, so Will-O-Wisp is going to be online. Like, they don't get too much out of the Spirit form. They can try to split push a bit with it, but that's it. Like, Nigma's in a position where they can't make any aggressive moves.
It's on Weehawk. That's on the BKB. As Mickey is going to have the answer for that Dream Coil down. We are having to opt to stand his ground, try and get the Jingu stacks built up, but Mickey kites him up, and they'll be able to take him out. So now the map, indeed, just a whole lot scarier to play into now with Mickey having that Ags. They're going to be able to punish that sort of split push every single time.
Also, Liquid managed to sneak in a ward inside Nigma's base, so that's going to give them a lot of information where they're moving.
Chasing on to Kuro, Tiger. He'll jump straight in. Pop his own BKB out. Kuro does manage to get the knife from RMN, so RMN at least able to take a bit of the benefit away from Liquid. Liquid, they'll just turn their attention towards RMN instead now, though. Will-O-Wisp does get knocked down. Now Tiger, he's going to be caught underneath the tower. Can he get himself
Good
out?
blinding light.
Tiger will fall, but they've lost 3 on Nigma. Miracle having to put the BKB to get out of there, but the coil's down from Mickey. Looks like they want to jump in and dive for this. They managed to get in as the fan and take out GH. They're going to be able to find Miracle as well. As Liquid, they'll clean up all 5 of them.
Yeah, they just dived because Puck used Arcane Rune and he had that coil once again. They should respect Will-O-Wisp because you can see that there's like so much control. They don't have that much attack speed on their heroes besides the Bloodseeker, so need to be very careful about it.
See that on the replay again here, just Liquid with the lead that they have. They can't afford to just dive at them, run them down. As soon as they're able to take down 1, 2 members of Nigma, it's just impossible for Nigma to fight back when they're outnumbered and this far behind in terms of items. Just 1 by 1. A solid effort from GH to try and turn things around with a Will-O-Wisp. It's just not enough at this point. And the BKBs, as strong as the potential was to be this game, with a good timing, the timing just hasn't been fast. The fact that they come out at the same stage when Mickey has that Axe done, Liquid, they have enough of an answer to make sure that even with the BKBs popped, Nigma have a real struggle trying to stay alive.
They don't have the answer for that. Coil, now even with the BKBs, Aghanim Scepter is done, so no like real counterplay. Someone gets coiled, they're pretty much dead. You can see we trying to itemize against that coil, going into status resistance. Yeah, it's gonna help, but still you need to be very careful how you approach a fight.
Classic Liquid, you know, doesn't matter how far ahead they are, stacks will still be made. At this stage, he's cleaning them up for himself.
This is something that Team Liquid struggled pretty much always, how to close out the games, especially when they like formed the team. There were games where they were like 40, 50k gold up, and they just couldn't close out.
That's true. That's I mean, at this stage, it really is a question of, you know, I mean, can Nigma still turn this? It felt like they did have that windows when the BKBs were there, but as we saw, being around the same time that Liquid got an Aegis, and they were just able to make sure that the BKB purchases didn't really allow Nigma to do too much. Nigma still very much on the back foot. Jump in, they're able to come in and on to Mickey, keeping the block down underneath. The Will-O-Wisp, he's able to get the face shoot down. Mickey can escape, he can't. Mickey goes down. Nigma there, and they're able to hold their ground. Bo2 can get the cleanup though, blood right down as RMN's brought incredibly low roll across from Tiger, able to put a stop to the attempted escape by Weehawk. As Mickey may have fallen, and Liquid with Boxy at the helm, no struggle. Still cleaning up the fights in their favor, and this Bloodseeker just a little too terrifying to deal with.
Yeah, Bloodseeker, they only managed to kill him once in the laning stage. That's pretty much it. Like, Foxy's way too tanky right now, has that Scotty against the Dragon Knight, against the Monkey King. He just has too much HP, too much armor at the moment to be brought down.
Yeah, just beating back to base once more, Nigma. Down 34,000 gold. Big items coming out now, even for the fives here on Liquid side. As Insania picks himself up a BKB. He's going to be ready to stand his ground in the middle, drop some freezing fields without Nigma having, at the moment, any way to cancel that.
Yeah, we talked about how Team Nigma, once they get the BKBs, they don't have too many abilities. Rupture and the Puck Coil with the Aghanim Scepter, of course, now upgraded. But Nigma, they don't have abilities that go through magic immunity.
No, they don't themselves. They really don't. mean, at this stage, you know, where's sort of that scaling potential? I mean, you look towards the Monkey King, but of course, he's been slowed down just as much as the rest of the team this game. A lot more time to
Finally,
get those scary eyes.
they take the tier 1 tower. Safe lane tower, 30 minutes in.
Miracle. He's out. BKB and a Remnant prepared. Since he's able to zip deep back onto his side of the map. More BKBs coming out for both squads though. RMN now having his complete. And over on the side of Liquid, Quakefoot will have his good to go for the next fight. 4-minute Mjolnir as well on Boxy. This Bloodseeker just remaining completely huge this game.
Crystal Maiden is almost as farmed as Monkey King at this point. Like,
Oh no.
that's a bit problematic because Team Nigma, like if they execute their combos, if they can kite around the BKBs, they still have a very good, you know, combination. Wukong's command into Will-O-Wisp, a lot of stun, like whether like chains, they have a Dragonite stun line just to keep them inside. They need Wukong's command to be able to like win the fight. This is the second Roche. It seems like it's gonna be uncontested. Nigma can't really leave the base. They leave the base, lose a fight, they lose the game. Best option right now is just to stay on the high ground, use that blast, use the power of the towers.
See if it's going to be enough to fend back a team that has the Aegis and the Cheese ready for the next push. So it really is going to have to be quite something at this stage. You know, now the lead that Liquid has, it does really feel like it's at a place that, even though Nigma did have the potential for some answers earlier this game, even though they were behind, now it's going to be incredibly hard to slow this sort of push down and to stop Liquid from being able to close up this game.
They're going for the high ground, try to poke something, get some chip damage with Venomancer boards. Puck has the Desolator, so that's going to help out.
Tiger, straight, he's having to kick back onto RMN. Will-O-Wisp down. BKB committed by Tiger. It comes out from RMN in response as Tiger has to roll out. Nigma are able to keep everyone alive. Still good damage done to the tier 3 here by Liquid. They begin to chip it right down.
Puck has enchanted quiver, so he can attack the tower from really far away. All they need is just vision on the high ground provided by the Venomancer.
Yep.
I mean, if they do not want to leave the base, this is how you play.
Yeah. Menke just sits out. Phase shift every time that the quiver's off cooldown. And that tower will slowly get taken away thanks to that increased range on those attacks. What do you do here if you're Nigma? How do you stop this? How do you slow it down? Start to make a bit of a poke onto Boxy. This is not an easy kill. BKB and Aegis, you've got to deal with this incredibly far Bloodseeker twice. Roll forward from Type, will be put to a stop by the Mammoth Strike off Weehaw. Miracle getting a little scared though, just pop the BKB himself. And now he's going to be vulnerable, and BK knows it. Straight into the Dream Coil, down to the two of them. They'll get the Wukong's command out. As they try and keep Miracle alive, but Boxy's in with the BKB. He sees him, takes him down as Miracle's out of the game. No buyback, so's Kuro. Two are down. Liquid sees the opportunity to dive in. Insania.
Oh, Insania is in.
The freezing field as they can't deal with the Crystal Maiden now at this point even.
Monkey King with the buyback. I think this might be it. I don't think Nigma has many options left at this point. Buyback still don't want to take the fight. Very limited on the damage right now. Like Crystal Maiden, I think she's more farmed than the Monkey King at this point.
Certainly seems to be it. 40,000 lead here for Liquid is finally putting it into play to close it up. We are trying to slow things down, but at least until Miracle's back up, Nigma's just not going to have a chance of bringing anything. They've found him. They've cut down his tree. They're straight in as Tiger kicks him back into the clutches of the Rooster Team Liquid. Weehaw will fall out of the game for 100 seconds. Liquid, they're not done yet. Rolling over towards the fountain, making sure that Kuroki and RMN can't get back to safety.
Yeah, this is going to be mega creeps. I love to say when it's time to call it, it is time to call it, because Nigma, they have nothing left. And yep, they're going to call it GG. Team Liquid did exactly what they needed to do, like played extremely aggressive. They utilized their lineup nicely. Just overall great performance. Like they went through the laning stage after 10-minute mark. It was 5-6k gold lead for them.
Just a clearly well-rehearsed sort of performance there from Liquid. I mean, we saw just straight from the off some of the players. You know, Mickey on this mid lane as the puck had an incredible start. And we saw sort of a couple of crazy deaths from him where he went in against 4 heroes, but the rest of the game, just flawless stuff from Mickey. He just made all the space in the world at the start and allowed Boxy to have an insane time on the Bloodseeker.
Yeah, Boxy was just completely popping off. Mickey at the start, you know, great performance, died a couple of times. Was like, yeah, maybe they can make a comeback, but didn't happen.
Did not at all. Some crazy stuff here from Liquid in the first game as they cement themselves the victory, getting themselves that early lead and just never letting it slip away. As Liquid, they'll take game 1 here against Nigma.
Thank you, ODPixel and Lacoste. And this reminds me of like the old days of this squad. But when Boxy had a good game, the rest of the team has a great game. And this was a perfect example of that. Team Liquid showed up to play here today, Lizard, and they crushed it.
Yeah, they crushed it. They broke them in the laning stage. Let me explain something. When the draft was happening, I said, this is a DK and the Lion. Puck should not have a good game. But that's if DK is laning versus that Puck, and then Puck doesn't have as much, and then you follow up with the Lion later on and you make his life miserable. That didn't happen. RMN, he's the DK, he's on the offlane. Puck is having a great game versus the Ember Spirit mid. He's dumpstering him, and then he's, Ember does make a couple of rotations, he does get a couple of kills, but it doesn't truly matter. One lane that did surprise me from Liquid is the Venom and Spirit Spirit. I have a feeling that that could have went even better for them as they were feeding a little bit, but overall just a very, very solid performance by Team Liquid.
Yeah, this is, I think, a Liquid team that's scary. I mean, we talked a bit about Nigma with their player role swaps. If anything, this was Liquid showing their versatile. Because, yeah, Boxy often gets a lot of farm priority, but he was basically, he was put in the safe lane. He was given safe lane. He was basically playing a carry role here on the Bloodseeker while you've got Koifa in the off lane. So Liquid themselves showing a lot of flexibility and this kind of surprise factor with their drafts that, you know, we expect with the cheese picks, but now we're seeing a bit with the role swaps as well.
Definitely, and this is, of course, their opening game. Very promising stuff coming out from them, and we talked about, you know, how the hero picks weren't really that different from what they played during the season itself. But as you mentioned, Gods, with the switch ups that they do, some of the roles, yeah, we've seen it here and there. I guess this was the time where they switched it up most. Like, everybody was playing something different, obviously, apart from Insania and Taiga. Very, very refreshing. For Team Nigma, though, they had some glimmers of light there, too. We have to keep in mind that they're playing with a stand-in RMN on the offlane with Mind Control, not able to make his way over to Singapore. And even though they lost, I don't think they were completely lost in the game itself, Lizard.
Oh, no, definitely. Sometimes you would see maybe RMN lost in the dire jungle, trying to farm a little bit too deep and then dying. Yeah, it happens. But yeah, definitely. If the drafts were a little bit different, I would perhaps favor Nigma a bit more. But it was extremely difficult for them to execute, and they didn't manage to. This is something that I feared for them, because when you make a swap from when you get a stand-in, it's kind of hard to coordinate. All these movements that come fluently with your natural player don't come as fluently with this new stand-in that you have to.
Yes! Do you miss the intense passion? Best teams in the world. Powerful emotions. Epic fights. Stunning rivalries. It's time for the biggest comeback. Singapore. This March, Bland Major Dota is coming back.
The one thing about the Magnus is he still can get burst, and also there's a situation where you have to watch out about fatal bonds. You're very tanky. If you're bonded to your team, and you don't have the baton to get that to remove that from you, it could be problematic as the RP.
It gets it on one. It's on Boxy. At the same time, they'll be able to hold Koifa the side. Koifa's got to be careful.
Koifa's going down.
Koifa's dead. The curse is there as well from Xnova, that follow-up, allowing them to finish off Boxy. They now turn towards Tiger. They'll get him as well.
My God, it's fully swung.
It really has. Voxy's hunting. Voxy might find something here. He's got X-Nova, the ultimate immediately cancelled. And Chalice, a disruption, and Somnus, he's surrounded. He'll put the BKB, go for the Requiem. He's trying to help his teammates. The buyback's there from X-Nova. Mid-Gaze Inc. bashes out, jump across from Arme. He's looking to try and pick off the support, but he loses Somnus at his side. Somnus is dead. Arme is trapped underneath the Will-O-Wisp. Boxy with a follow-up Who Stomp. Again, the chain stuns between Boxy and Quifar holding him in place. 3 dead on LGD.
But they're in with the Metamorphosis. They'll take out the range rack first and then look under the melee. Dream. I'll tickle for him so far. Let's protect him. Dream Call comes out. Jump in straight away. The Sun is switching. No! Drow's gone. BKB'd up and it wasn't good enough. But the BKB on SF barely keeping alive. He snaps the coil! Oh no! GPK catches them off guard with the Aghanim. They didn't expect it. And that Dream steal from PYW will achieve nothing. That's the GG. Vici tap out. Gambit with a 30k net worth lead. 26-minute mark. Take the game.
Kunkka was going on the Shadow Fiend. He needed one more hero to really secure the kill on GPK. They didn't have the damage from the Kunkka to bring them down. And look at this damage.
Demolish. Stop me if you can. But I don't think you can. Mask of Madness in 2 seconds. Doesn't even need it for this one. There you go. Might as well. See if you can disarm me. Okay. X. Dream will turn around and fight again. Static Link taking away a lot of damage. Yang down half HP already needs to be careful. The toss to drop Ori and BKB. Eurus is still chasing, but how the hell do you get Tiny? The reload out once more. Overgrowth jumping. DY backstabs their line. But the Kinetic field down. Throw him up a little bit. Eurus chase through. Will find the kill to Tiny though. And Vampire will next hit the deck alongside GPK. Suddenly, Vici strike back, but it did cost them racks.
Run, Crystallize, run. Well, they're actually kind of maybe try and fight this one. I'm a little bit surprised. There is an Aegis on the side of EG. Pasha runs out of mana straight off the bat here, so he's not going to be able to get a split off or anything. And now the Roar comes out on the Weaver. That's going to make it another kill. The swap is useless. Ilias is just going to give his life for this one as well. Throw in a courier. Why not? This fire is burning bright and a bed looking to find +1, but Zayats gets the roll out to safety. Drow does not care. Keep it on chasing, and Ilias is going to be the one who's dropped. Good night. They continue their rampage through the enemy base. EG taking buildings right now, looking for their second victory against Na'Vi, blasting them back with that multi-shot. The damage is insane. Magical, and they keep trying to trade hits, but this time he might not get away with this one. The Yules has to come out in order to avoid the right clicks, but they're just closing the gap here, and there come the right clicks. Down goes Magical, immediate buyback, trying to make something happen here. Meanwhile, Zayats trying to get back into the fountain. Abed's just in the base, though. Pasha drops, Zayats drops as well. They've frozen solid the Gyrocopter. Surely Abed has to stop, but from outside the base, Arteezy is just fountain farming them, and Na'Vi will finally say, good game. We're out. White flags raised high. EG take game number 2 as they pummel Na'Vi back inside their base and then keep on beating them all the way back into their fountain, and even then kill them there as well. EG go absolutely mental.
What's happening? Trying to get away.
Running in with the phase boots.
The hasted zombie.
There's TPs coming in, at least with Chalice. Can they kill him? They cannot. At least not immediately. He's able to turn the road trout with the damage from Eurus. They'll finally bring him down. And I'll turn their attention towards Chalice, who did TP in an attempt to help out. He'll go for the Sprout and TP. Omnus comes in with the sewer though. The RP onto the 2 of them. They turn their attention towards Eurus. Eurus is dead. They've found the TV. Now Ori in trouble potentially as F5 controls them up with the 2-man avalanche toss. Drag back onto Ori. Ori will fall. Swap back from X-Nova. They have the control to catch Yang as well. As, well, maybe not with the run. They got a toss.
Another skewer.
Skewer. They've found him.
They
You cannot run from this lineup of LGD as Somnus now godlike on the Magnus. Other than the 1 kill.
Another glimpse. And they actually chase this one here, this time with the blood right down. Will they have enough damage? Reactive armor stacks are building up, but will it be enough? The swap, the boat.
Chainfrost does bounce back. Between the 2 of them, Somnus and X-Nova will need to split, but again, it's these great saves. Chalice is fine. Somnus will be the new focus, though. They're chasing, they're diving, they're getting low, so this Bloodseeker's going to have a lot of power. Somnus is falling. He's gone as well as X-Nova, and Ori's not done. He's seeing if he can find anyone else in the backlines. He will not be able to do so. PSG.LGD able to get the side. Big kill there, taking out Somnus. Vision's there for FY. They'll get the glimpse back. Eurus turns his attention towards the Rubik. Wise trapped by the kinetic field. Vici Gaming claim a third.
They won't get either of the outposts though, as Radiant does still control both of those. But heavily committing forward for a go. Whoa, 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 whoa. He detonates for DY. Gets pushed away.
I don't think Rubik uses the better. Like the 270 damage isn't bad for Sven.
Yeah, I guess he can kind of get the right click off. Wouldn't even be bad on Invoker. I don't know why Invoker has the clumsy net, but...
Got Holtman the meatball. Stormvine, Primer Roar, throw now, and the Stormhammer across it does jump to the second target. I knew it! And now, the follow-up, the Cataclysm, doesn't bring anyone down. The Static Storm goes down, and Sven a lot of trouble. He goes to BKB, he's gone! No buyback either, and now they'll follow up on the box. He's a little bit too deep. Doesn't have the Stampede to work with, will buy back straight away. But your base is exposed again. Crystallized stands his ground, still has the Aegis to work with. And Boxy jumps in, roll away, Rage activator. There isn't threatened at all, but Boxy, this is going to be the dieback, and this is looking grim now. Elias follows up the 4-star forward since the gaze, gets killed onto Tiger as well. And Liquid only have 2 left. The GG comes out, game 1 going to Na'Vi. The timing on this. They're not going to be spotted. Na'Vi moving in. Boyford's going to break the smoke. They're stacking right now. Stack Storm's going to go down, but jump in by Tiger with the Black Hole will catch on to 2. But on the side, Magical and Crystallized free to do what they want, but the stun comes out. Crystallized swapped across, starting to heal up here. Mika getting low on HP. Aegis has been expended, but now the stun coming out. Lustig is going to go down. The buybacks will commit as well. Na'Vi are fully into this fight and can take a win against Liquid in the end. Insania trying to run away to the high hills, but Pasha on top of him all the while. Ice Shards blocks his escape. With the buybacks, Na'Vi take a convincing victory.
Meanwhile, quick kill into the mid lane, onto Vampire, and now, oh, beautiful combo into the mid here. This is Vengeful Spirit and Invoker, finished off like nothing. Paper Mache underwater, they just disintegrate.
This chip damage you're doing doesn't really work.
In goes Shashlo, does get the coil, swap back as well. RTZ in some trouble, he gets eaten up alive, does have the buyback though. They're gonna look towards Ramses, Ramses gonna be the next target. Now Ramses does not have buyback. If he goes down here, that is it, but he's not gonna die. They keep him alive. Meanwhile, Vampire, well, might not be so lucky, but he's got the snowball to keep himself nice and snuggly and safe. Meanwhile, oh god, that's a big crit onto the puck. He gets himself out, and I think Tusk could be in trouble, but Arthur, again with the Satanic, healing himself up once again. They can't kill this guy. Meanwhile, Crit and Vampire will go down. GPK trying to fight into the Terrorblade, but it's not enough. Arthur falls after 120 seconds. He is out, and it looks like this might be it. EG, at long last, finally lose a game, and they go down to Gambit. A little bit of a celebration leap there from the enemy team. The Gambit take the victory. 40 kills to 22 of 44 minutes into this one.
He'll come over and farm for sure. Who did RTZ give it to? Does he still have it? It's on the Tidehunter. Okay. So right. Ramses and RTZ, they split the jelly. That's actually super Tornado coming in, actually grabbing Nagasaran quite nicely. Combining with the Urn and the Cold Snap, Tiger staying with him. What's he going to steal? He's going to steal Avalanche. Crit came in close. Now Ravage from Ramses, catching 2 with both the Anchor Smash as well. And Mickey rooted. Insania cannot help out, but he'll try and help out nonetheless. Song of the Siren being triggered. It stops Boxy, who was coming in with a shapeshift form behind him, and they just reset. Insania, he knows he needs to help out his teammate, but what can he really do? There are 5 heroes from EG here. The numbers just don't work. Liquid are leaking. Coming in from Team Liquid, feeling like maybe they got a chance to fight as Boxy just runs himself forward. The rest of his team, however, really don't seem to be there. RTZ just swinging through Boxy. He'll have an infest into the quick set of Banisher, runs up the hill. The overgrowth creates a little bit more space, combining with the meme hammer, and again another double shackle. Fly will end up falling down. Liquid, are they coming online? Is this the OG IO strat where you're feeling good now? Enigma being chased and has to let that 10-second BKB go as Lifestealer changes his targets. Bed coming up, RP still available for him, but who's his target he's really going for? Now he can finally let it rip, combining with the blast off. Boxy doesn't have anything more to give, and in fact, IO, they're tossing Tiny away, so IO, well, he can't even tether anyway. Magnus is actually holding, he pulls him in. It's like force pull, force push. Welcome to the Star Wars release.
Dead on this right now. If they don't move right now, it's going to be too damn late, and it looks like Gambit are going to be the ones retreating to their base as it becomes way too obvious they're way too late. And instead, FNG's going to get fueled up. Hex comes down, Slash goes to the lowest, he returned it. Lead Commander might go down here. He's going to be protected for the moment as he moves away. It looks like he's actually going to live. Dream will go in. The Witness Curse coming out in Phoenix. FY, the target didn't get the egg out in time and will go down. The Magic Missile to ensure it. And the movement through melts through another. 2 buybacks coming out from LGD. X-Nova a little bit too far forward. Will go down. FNG already dead. RP's going to be there, but Dream, he doesn't care. The cheese has already been eaten. Somnus has to run the hell away. And on the other side, Drow has been caught by Slashflow, who's chasing onto him. That Aegis, they say, we might not get it, but we're taking it away from you. And where are the reinforcements? They're converging in from the outpost. There's no shrine anymore. Spear across. Maybe trying to have an impact. Goes to a refresher. There's the RP. The setup looking good into TV. He's going to go down dead for 100 seconds. And it looks like everyone on Gambit is going to be deleted by the forces of LGD. And they will head straight for the base.
Oh my god, that RP. And Somnus with the tip.
Whoop. Dream has to have an escape plan right now. They're skewering forward. They've got the RP. Do they commit it for him alone, though? He bashes once. He should be going for the enrage now to make sure they can't do anything. The extra time. Now the vacuum turn around. They do get the RP out, but he's stunned up. Magnus needs to retreat. Shacho chasing through. Jane Frost going to bounce around a little bit. Toss the control. Shacho so he can't go for the last, and the swap comes in. Trying to get them closer so Charles can find a kill. The Magic Missile will be good enough. The last we follow up on Arme should enable a second kill. As LGD are going to lose more heroes here. And FY in too deep. Trying to keep all the blood in his head. Instead.
The hell is happening? He didn't get a chance. He just gets killed by a million purges. Meanwhile, Crystallize still fighting on the front lines. Bloodseeker controlled up, feared up, held still. Eurus on the run, trying to get out of this one. Actually looking at turning it around maybe, because look at the damage coming out. They actually managed to drop Magical here, and the Aegis of the Rapier now belongs to the...
The first game went the way of Team Liquid. Can they do it again? Will this be a 2-0 or will this be tied as a 1-1? It is a round robin of 2-game series between all 6 teams in the wildcard here at the One Esports Dota 2 Singapore Major. I'm joined by Gods and Lizard. And guys, this first game that we saw in the, that was the first game in the entire major, it definitely showed Liquid's good side here, Gods.
It sure did. It showed them playing flexible, it showed them playing really fast, high pace, aggressive Dota, and they just never really gave many openings to Nigma. It wasn't like a perfect game, there were a few tiny misplays here and there, but that's almost like a good thing where you can like, okay, we didn't play perfect, but we played really, really good.
Yes, one thing that we know from Team Liquid is that they are maybe not the most stable team in terms of performance, so we'll see if they can repeat their results in game number 2. And one thing that we know of Team Nigma, Lizard, is that they are really good at learning from games they lost.
Yep, you talked about it earlier as well. You said that usually when they have a series, it goes the full stretch.
Yeah.
If they lose the first game, they either take the series or at least even it out, and then, you know. So overall, I expect them to learn quite a bit from this first game. However, how much will they be able to use that, considering maybe some things that they've learned they didn't want to learn, you know? Yeah, they have some problems.
They might be a little stubborn here and there. They, you know, sometimes that, I mean, that's with the greatest captains. If they have an idea in their head that they think should work, they'll try to do it again and again and again, much to the frustration of a lot of their fans. We'll see here for game 2, though. I'm curious, Gods, is there any hero in particular that you'd say, like, you know what, let's not have Liquid have this hero this time around?
For me, one of the heroes across all regions, you know, you mentioned Puck is one of the most picked and played, but I actually think Earthspirit for me is one of the most problematic heroes right now. It just seems like by far the best 4 position. It does the most. Both teams have a great Earthspirit play, so I think that Nigma should either take it or ban it.
Yeah, it is the most played hero for Team Liquid as well, so it's it definitely was, especially the opening in general, like both Puck and Earthspirit.
Yep.
Is like, if you're looking through Team Liquid's games, that's what you can expect. That's what you think is going to happen. But what's going to get banned instead, though, or let through? Right now, it was Weaver and Enigma that Team Nigma banned in the first phase, Lizard.
And that's very understandable, because these are the heroes that are becoming more and more popular in the last few weeks of the DPC League. And they also shut you down when it comes to a couple of picks that you might want to get. However, If you do that versus Liquid, you're opening up so many possibilities that they will exploit, and we saw it right there. And both of these teams, they are really they're stealing each other's best heroes. You could see GH on that Kotal. At the same time, you could see Puck being played on the side of Liquid, which is, I mean, Mickey has been playing that Puck for quite a long while now, and he performs really well. But when you think of Puck on Nigma, that's a very fearsome hero too. So maybe we'll just see a small switch up with the heroes picked from these two teams in the second game as well.
We'll definitely have a little bit of a switch up, I would imagine, considering it is game 2, so we're going to probably have some sides. And, well, sides maybe not turned around this time around. We still have Team Nigma on the Radiant side and Liquid on the Dire. First pick. Oh, we do have the Earth Spirit banned out, though, as God said. Still Keeper of the Light going the way of Team Nigma. They were happy with that. And the thing is, with openings like this, these are practiced. If you're going to prepare for a major, you're going to prepare for, in terms of drafting, you can not really prepare for second half of the draft, but openings. You've got things set in stone. That's why we see this go so fast, Gods.
I'm sure Liquid have, you know, thought the same thing. Okay, this game, if they're going to change the bans, they might ban Earth Spirit Weaver or Earth Spirit Enigma. What do we change? So they probably already have thought about this exact scenario and have an idea of what they want to do.
It's very peculiar for me that Team Nigma is banning out that Weaver, considering how much they played the Bloodseeker before, which is a hero that historically does pretty well. They've played it, I believe, even in the recent series versus Team Liquid. So something that's interesting. And also Team Liquid, with taking Dire, I believe, and choosing the second pick, they give themselves those options for cheese, because you do have the last pick as well, right? So suddenly you can maybe pick that lone druid, and you're playing with Team Nigma's head, really.
Is also not Dire's side. When you're talking about Team Liquid, everybody knows Insania is insane. I know, pun, it's great. Very good at stacking the entire jungle, almost at the same time, right? He is the economy player. And Dire, even though not really favored by a lot of teams, but if you're an economy team, you want to be on the Dire side, because it is easier to multi-stack on that side of the map, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. I think, like you say, Insania does it better and more than any other 5 position, it feels like. So definitely something Liquid have in mind. I think the other really strong thing about second pick is this pick right here. You get a pick and then you get bans to protect it. So we see a lot of teams pick up like a carry or some kind of really key hero here and then protect it. Timbersaw,
there you
Boxy
go.
Special. And now they can ban out the heroes that Timbersaw doesn't want to play against.
Yep. And there aren't too many heroes on the lanes, at least, that mess with Timbersaw, so you can ban those out and cover him. Monkey King, perhaps an Ursa or something similar, and the Timbersaw should have a pretty good game already versus the Dragonite. You're liking it. It's a very easy hero to just harass throughout the whole match. And also, I don't mind the Puck versus Kotal matchup. I've talked earlier about the Lion being good versus Puck, but if the Puck is big, he doesn't care. Especially Mickey, he bought Lincolns in the last game. And then here he's playing versus Kotal, not a lot of control as well. And it will not be easy for GH to keep distance versus the Fairy Dragon.
Puck and Timbersaw on the side of Team Liquid, there is an incredible amount of flexibility, right? Like, obviously we saw Mickey Puck previous game, but we know Koikfa and Boxy play it as well. And Timbersaw, I think both Boxy and Koikfa play it as well.
Yeah, they definitely do. So a lot of flex, a lot of flex on Team Liquid right now. They banned out the DP as well. I'm actually surprised we haven't seen her in the first game as well. This hero for me is another one of those that hasn't been perhaps the favorite in the beginning of the DPC League, but slowly and steadily she's finding her foothold, and she's looking really strong.
It kind of just simplifies how you play the game. You have Exorcism, you go group up, try take an objective, and I think that's something when you've got that stand-in for a team like Nigma, that can be really helpful. Which is why they're going to stick with this DK idea, because it's this hero that you kind of want to group up around.
It's a hero that you show to a friend that, you know, he didn't play any MOBA games before. Here you go, Dragonite. You breathe fire, you stun, you're tanky, and you have a very cool ulti, so you're gonna like it.
Yeah. Is this, I mean, having DK's second pick, I know it probably is a comfort hero, as we talked about earlier for Armen. Are you guys happy with that? Like, do you guys think it would have been banned out in this case?
Yep.
I guess it doesn't reveal too much. Like, you can go a lot of different routes with a DK in your team.
I'm personally not that happy about it. I think DK just is a middle of the pack hero. I don't think it's worth second picking, even though it is kind of that soft counter to Puck. I think Puck, you still play fine at a DK. We saw last game, like, you get farmed enough, you get that Lincoln Sphere, and even if you're not incredibly farmed, Puck just does so much, can be so active. So I'm not a big fan of DK myself in the current patch.
I agree with you, but remember what happened in the first game. Puck wasn't playing against the DK in the lane. When you're playing versus DK in the lane, everything is difficult for a Puck. It's difficult to rotate, and that's what you want to do naturally because your tower falls instantly. The moment you move away, he's going to take it. Plus, you can't harass him out of the lane. And this, actually very interesting. They pick up a Nyx. Are they... So usually when you're picking up a Nyx, you want to be messing with int heroes, right? Like something like a Lesh, something like a Pugna. Now I'm thinking, why do you pick Nyx? I know it's highly contested in E.
Do you miss the intense passion? Best teams in the world. Powerful emotions. Epic fights. Stunning rivalries. It's time for the biggest comeback. Singapore. This March. Black Major Dota is...
Tiny was a hero that, at least in the NA region, started getting very popular the last week or two.
Really?
As a mid laner, mostly. Just basically, the Void Spirit, the Ember Spirits kept getting banned, the Puck kept getting banned, so like, okay, what hero is the next Spirit? It was Tiny was like the kind of Spirit replacement.
Yeah. He's the original, the OG playmaker on the mid lane, right? Like,
but we'll have to see. It may not be. It could be a mid Puck. We don't know if Tiny's playing that 4 position or core role here. It kind of looks like it's a 4 position Tiny at this point.
I just overall don't like the hero too much. He's been nerfed heavily since his glory days, and we have so many neutral items that give you stats or HP. You buy one bracer, raindrop, magic wand, you can't even kill a support. If you can't kill a support, this hero for me just doesn't work. That's the problem. Later on in the game, obviously, you get a lot of value from the toss back, but
and I think that's where it's looked better as a core. I think in South America, a lot of 4 positions been playing it, and it hasn't looked that good to me. But the core Tiny, you just get that blink a lot faster, and you can just be that initiating playmaker for your team.
Damn, Razor. Okay, we have seen this from Nigma, right? Like, we have seen the Wii Razor as well. It's a hero that should have a pretty solid lane versus any one of these 4 that he goes to, so that's also very solid, and that's what you really want from Razor. You want to secure that laning stage and be that powerhouse in the mid game.
Does feel like they're going very much all in on these like lane matchups, like Razor, DK. Like, to me, this draft, like, it's like the boring draft. These heroes don't do a lot. They're not like high impact heroes, but they're just solid, stable picks that aren't going to have a bad lane.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. However, Razor recently has surprised me with the amount of work that he can do if he's given a good laning stage, which he usually does get, right? So we'll see the way in which Nigma executes. But so far, I do like this draft. I do like the Razor pick.
It's stable. We got a beat going on. I like it. I'm digging it. I think. You know what you said about DK is like when your friend, you know, hasn't played MOBA yet. Here's a hero, you know, has a stun, sturdy. Could say the same thing about Razor. You can stand there. It's like, okay, you just, if they come close, just drain their damage. You'll be fine. I think this is like a lineup. It's like, okay, they go for ease of execution.
But they need that bit of jazz, that bit of funk right now. Like, Nigma is missing that, like, you know, big. I mean, it's the miracle here. I got to assume that's the last pick for them. I think we'll see Armen on the DK again, but perhaps again we're going to see the DK not match into the Puck, which at least for us is a bit surprising right now.
Yep, that's definitely the way it looks at the moment. The question is, will they still be playing B on the safe lane with the Razor? I believe they will be, so that means that Miracle will be the last pick on the mid lane again, right?
Yeah.
As we're expecting Armen to be playing Dragon Knight offlane.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, he could play Razor. I mean, how hard can a Razor be? I feel like... Oh, and also, Arman is a good hero. He'll have more heroes in his arsenal other
Of
than
course,
DK.
100%.
You know, maybe they'll... I hope they don't put Miracle on the DK. I think that's a little bit of a waste. But I still hope that they have, as you guys both say, the magical Miracle hero coming out last that is going to save the day for the squad. We're waiting for the last ban coming out for Team Liquid. They're taking their time here. Go for the Ember Spirit. We saw Miracle on the Ember Spirit.
Yeah, so
in
they're
the first game.
they're expecting the same thing. They're expecting this Dragonite to be the offlane, Razor safe, and that mid lane picked for Miracle last. Instead, okay.
Oh.
Grimstroke.
Grimstroke mid.
Grimstroke
has
mid.
been a
Yeah, this should be it. Yeah, this should be a Grim mid.
Unless it's Grim offlane. Like, Grim Nyx sounds like a pretty solid
true.
lane, but...
Yeah.
I like that a lot better, actually. But, yeah.
No, it's not bad. Like, Grim can be played, obviously, on offlane and on mid as
There's
well.
one problem. Yeah, I like Grim mid mostly because he'll get an axe real fast. You can copy your enemies, agility, carry. They don't have any.
Yeah,
I was like, I think this is where you're going with this.
Okay, so I definitely agree with you there, but there is just so much power in this Grimstroke without the Aghanims.
Okay.
Right now, you have two heroes that utilize your Inkswell so very well. You have Nyx Assassin and Dragonite. You have this jump in with the Inkswell, with the stun, Dragon Tail, or with the Nyx's Impale. And it really is about the E-Blade plus the Phantom's Embrace. That's why you play mid. Aghanims, later on, it's cute, it's great. But that E-Blade is your such huge power spike.
Okay.
That's literally what makes this hero a valuable core.
Well, that's going to be sad times for Insania on the Crystal Maiden, most likely. He will not have a fun time also against that Nyx Assassin. We're waiting for the last hero of Team Liquid, and I am looking at their draft. There is still flexibility possible with their cores that they've picked. The only one set in stone is the Crystal Maiden.
Yeah, they're looking for probably some kind of carry, objective taker.
Question, is there cheese potential?
You have Lone Druid, but there's Razor as well.
I think they'd rather get like a Jug type hero.
Oh, no, it's Lone Druid time.
Yeah,
Alright.
they went with it. Now
I don't know if I can still call that cheese, by the way. Is the time pass or we like? I call it cheese because everybody knows what I mean when I say it, but it's not really cheese when Team Liquid picks it.
Yeah,
right?
because you know they're gonna pick it.
Yeah.
They're not really surprising you with this, right? But still, it's a little bit obnoxious to play against. However, he is playing into a Razor, and historically Razor has had a really good time playing into Lone Druid. You just link the bear and that's it. He does not deal any damage.
Even the DK feels pretty alright against the Lone Druid. Like, you just have so much armor that you're never really too threatened by him. So I don't think it's this big gotcha pick. If anything, Nigma are like, okay, if they Lone Druid, we have decent heroes against it. Yeah,
then they had all the opportunity to ban it out anyway. They banned out Bloodseeker and Lycan instead, which they were more worried about. So they seem confident on dealing with it. So who's going to take this second and final game of the series? Gods, you want to go first?
I'll go first again, okay.
Yeah.
Let's go with Liquid again. I think, to me, the big thing with Liquid is they're not going to run over the lanes in the first 10 minutes, but once they get like that puck level 6 and he starts moving, it's going to be a similar story to last game where they're just going to crush that mid game.
Fair enough.
I like the Grim off or mid lane even. I really do, but it's so difficult to go against Liquid Lone Druid, so I'll go with it.
Yeah, and I think what we said in before the first game also is true. We said you can't not go for Liquid because they are the team playing with their full roster, right? And we have yet to see Team Nigma really basically surprise us with their current roster. And the first game didn't give me a lot of confidence that they will take the second game. But hey, what's the fun in predicting? We're gonna see it play out. We're gonna see who is taking the second game. Let's head over to our commentary team of OD Pixel and Lacoste.
Thank you very much, Shiva. Yes, game 2 now ready to go between Liquid and Nigma. And what do you sort of make of this, Lacoste? Do you think we're going to see Nigma with a bit of a better shot here in game 2? Are you liking any of the stuff that they're bringing out this draft?
They're putting up Dragonite against the Puck, which I like more. I thought they're going to do the same thing in game number 1, which allows you to, get a bit more levels. Then Dragonite is not that just the blink initiator. He's actually a hero that can scale a bit. Tricky, playing into like a Lone Druid. Some of the heroes don't match up well. Also, I don't think they have tools to deal with the Timbersaw. You know, there's a mana burn, there's a Grimstroke. Like if you use Chakra, you're always gonna get that extra render damage coming out. You can't kill the Phantom, but Boxy, he's probably like top 3, top 2, even Timbersaw players in the world. So putting a lot of faith in him.
No, for sure, no. Absolutely. One of those players that just knows the exact limits that they can push the hero to and get away with. So definitely going to have to be on the lookout for Boxy becoming an unkillable beast this game if Nigma aren't able to slow him down early on. Let's have a look. And I mean, as talked about as well in the draft, in the panel, and as we saw last game, last game, Nigma did ban that Lone Druid out. Do you think this game they sort of forgot about it, or they weren't really too fussed with Liquid closing with it, and that
I think
they feel that they can deal with it?
Lone Druid's not gonna get picked, you know.
Okay.
Having Razor, historically, this hero always dealt nicely against the Lone Druid. They also have a Dragon Knight. God's talked about it, how he doesn't care too much about the Lone Druid until a certain point where like you're gonna always have that extra armor, so not gonna feel the damage. I want to talk about Tiny. Like, this hero has not impressed me. The toss back, talking about the Tiny, has a boost of speed to run from the static link, but yeah, the combo got nerfed. Everyone has like a bracer, everyone has a raindrop, like you get stats from the neutral item, so it's gonna be very hard to actually like kill anyone with the Tiny.
Oh, well, we'll see. I mean, if anyone's gonna show us how good Tiny can be, right, Tiger, he's gonna be the guy to do it, as this dude's performances have just been off the charts every single time. So we'll see what he's able to pull off with the Tiny this game.
Tiny's a type of a hero, you can toss back people, you can save allies with the toss, but that's it. Like, you have 2 abilities pretty much. Your 3 grab is not an ability when you're playing from position 4. Same goes for grow is a passive ability. So like, you use your combo, you wait until it resets. While we're talking, GH and RMN managed to get a kill on the top lane.
Not only just the kill, but also Insane did try and salve up between those last few hits, so also down a salve in this top lane Liquid. And despite losing a hero, though, we've seen overall in this top lane, Koikfer and Insane have done a very good job of pushing Nigma back away from the creep wave, and as you can see at the moment, RMN really struggling to farm at all up here, whilst Koikfer is having a lot of space secured for him on the Lone Druid safe.
Grimstroke, I kind of hope that it's going to be a mid hero, because this hero has so much potential. Like, after seeing it played by Thompson, where he went for a Rush Ethereal Blade kind of a build, like you get it to 12 to 15 minutes depending how the game goes for you. Like, it has so much potential. Like, even in the offlane, I think there was one game in the Chinese region where it was played as an offlane. Hero needs levels, like all his abilities are extremely good. RMN has 2 Sage's Mask. Interesting. I'm wondering if he's like gonna try to upgrade that, get to Orchid.
Oh, that'd be an interesting sort of approach from an offlane Grim. We'll see what RMN does do build-wise.
It gives a lot of mana regen in the lane, but you could have also gone for some extra stats. Get that Null Talisman. GH needs to be careful, has Tranquil Boot, so he's gonna regen up, but can't really join a fight right now. Taiga already lurking around the mid lane.
See if they're able to catch Miracle off guard. Miracle, of course, with the Bracer, Fairy Fire Stick, couple of points in the Dragon's Blood. Pretty tanky. Tanky enough though. Taiga able to find the positioning there to get that perfect toss. Gets the catch and the setup onto Miracle. Taiga makes the moves. Already, Mickey off to he was already having a good time. I mean, already just having the lead against the DK in that lane. 19 for 8 against the 14 for 1. A lane where in the 1v1, you're never going to be able to kill the Dragon Knight. If you have a position 4 that's going to make moves like Taiga, you're really able to deal with and shut down a hero that expects to have a decent time in lane against you.
You also want to leave your lane, get some solo XP to the Timbersaw. Like, Timbersaw doesn't care about Razor static link. You get linked, you Timber Chain away, so Taiga can move around the map, try to get some kills. Mid lane, like this kill also gave Mickey a lot of XP. Dragon Knight level 4, Puck level 5.5. So once there's like level 6 again, they can break the coil with the toss. A lot of stuff that they can do. They can also rotate to the top lane. Grimstroke forced out of the lane, needs the TP back. Like this item build to me seems a bit weak. You know, you have no stats whatsoever. You have like 1 Ironwood branch, but you still have mana regen. Also playing like Grimstroke without a cast range, you eventually need to get Blitz on this hero because you get so much value out of it.
Oh yeah. Strokes get
Toss bottom.
getting aggressive onto Weehup. He can't quite find the angle to chase him for more though. Still good pressure. It's going to mean that Weehup is sort of split from Creep Wave here as it hits the tower. Tiger is out in the trees, top lane. Attempt to be made onto Insania. Quite heading across. Damage to bring down this Crystal Maiden. GH diving in, he'll be able to finish off the kill. As Insania goes down, Quoifer is chasing down Iron Man. He's looking for a route.
There it is, you just had to call it.
Indeed, Fairy Fire might just save Iron Man. Actually, Iron Man, he heads back in. GH is able to find the setup for an excellent stun though onto the two of them. That'll stop Quoifer from being able to chase down Iron Man any further. Does still manage to turn his efforts towards GH and get a good amount of damage done onto the Nyx Assassin. So again, this top lane, even though the Crystal Maiden is dying, Quoifer still able to make sure that he's having no struggle hitting the creeps on top.
They're gonna pull this lane back. I mean, the creep wave is gonna die pretty quickly. Nice stroke of fate from RMN. Needs to be careful, like one root.
Yeah.
There's a lot of damage. Phase boots, Blightstone on the lone druid already. Mid lane, coil is available. There it is. Break the coil. Easy stuff from Team Liquid.
I mean, they're certainly showing the power of this Tiny with these ganks mid. Tiger, 2 times now, coming mid. Tosses have been perfect. And Miracle, he's just not been ready for it.
Nothing he can do. Like, he can try to farm the jungle. Then Tiger rotates to the top lane. You lose out so much. Puck gets too much out of the lane. Possibly rotation from the Nyx Assassin could help out. Like, Keeper of the Light is not going to be able to do that much. Toss on the bottom lane. The box, he misses the Timber Chain.
Yeah, we are good. I mean, can he chase this down? Yeah, he doesn't want to. Even with sort of a full steal of the static link, it's just not an easy kill to go for whatsoever. Boxy having that reactive armor up.
A lot of value coming out from the Crystal Maiden in this game. Like Tiny, he just consumes so much mana. You pretty much need to have clarities running all the time on the hero. Has 2 clarities, has that arcane aura from Crystal Maiden, so doesn't need to worry too much about mana. And you also like want to get something that gives you mana top lane. GH will drop.
More kills and glory here for Liquid as Quoifer now starting to get involved in the action. Level 6 can start putting pressure onto this tower, and Iron Man's got to be careful. He's gonna get the stun off. But the bear is in, and Iron Man, he's gone.
That's a double kill, and something that usually does not happen. Like your off lane tower being pressured. Like, look how low it is, and it's also just the Nyx Assassin. Coil.
Yep, Mickey and Tiger, they're straight round to the back lines. Coil dropped down onto the Kotl, and Kuroki, he's out. GH as well, tossed in position. As Liquid, they'll find the 2 of them. This top tower, they attempt to defend it, but no defense can really be put in place at all.
4 heroes, they kill the tower. Mickey, TP's mid, has regeneration in the bottle, so he can defend the tower. Dragon Knight popped the ulti. It was ulti with the arcane rune, so gonna lower the cooldown. And they can rotate heroes to the bottom lane. Like, with the 10-minute catapult, they can start pressuring the bottom tower. Timbers is level 6, so you need to be very careful. Tiger's already there, like, this is Dead Razor.
Straight in with the combo and the burst is insane between the 2 of them. I mean, my goodness, you know, 7-2. And, I mean, he's really making it work. As you said, you know, at the beginning, you sort of had a bit hesitant on what to expect from Tiny, but Tiger, he's just making this hero look so fantastic in this lineup. 5 assists straight up. His movements have been flawless.
He has 2 CS, but he's been involved in 5 kills. I would like if they like give him lane for a minute to be able to farm up, get some gold going. What is he bringing? He's bringing a stick, infused raindrop, and a couple more clarities. Bottom lane. This is a tough kill to get.
See if they've got enough damage. the link building up. Boxy.
Box is just baiting. Okay. They got him. They actually got him. Nice carapace by GH there to stop him mid-air.
It does take a lot to take him out. Top lane RMN. He's trying to get some farm going. But they're able to run him down. Now they'll find him here. Easy kills here for Quake Farm. I mean, as we're seeing, you know, the Grim, you just can't protect yourself against the bear. Inkswell stunned, the bear don't care. You know, he's in and he's killing you. Nothing to stop him.
That's a nice rhyme. Bear don't care.
Bear don't care.
He's going for a Necrobook, which is pretty interesting. Some of the I've seen it in the pubs. I've seen it like on the offlane Tusk as well. It synergizes nicely with, let's say, Grimstroke's Inkswell V. Is he dead? Yeah, he looks pretty dead.
He looks pretty dead. It's starting to pick up the pace this game, a bit similar to the first one we saw here between the two teams. 9-3, 2K lead for Liquid. It's been a slow start for Nigma, and now Mickey going to go for the setup onto the two of them with the Dream Coil. Tiger coming in, looking for the toss back. He's got
Breaks
it
the coil just in time.
I mean, you don't get any closer with that sort of timing. The Dream Coil lasting just long enough for Tiger to still find that chance to get that combo out with the toss. Mid, GH trying to go in, but he's been silenced. Mickey, he's getting low. The static link from Weave will allow them to finish him off.
Toss.
Tiger sends him in very deep. Weeha's still healthy enough to back off safely. Liquid not able to commit on him, and now Weeha's turning over towards Tiger. I'll chase him down. Tiger, is he going to...
Oh, he's going to dodge it. I see what he did there, you know, he's just keeping the scores. 007, Agent Taiga, license to assist. Did not want to die there.
Very nice little sidestep indeed.
If it was Tiny in my pub, Owen, you know, he would be Agent 070 with the license to feed.
No, Tiger definitely going the correct route in agency here with his performance. It's mid lane Liquid. Again with a trade that they come out on top of, they can keep the pressure on. Miracle and GH trying to do their best to slow down this siege, but Tiger's back in and you know he's looking for a catch. He's heading over. GH will be able to stop him for now with the spike carapace. Miracle trying to stand his ground with the Dragon Tail stun onto Tiger, but Boxy, he's just going to start chasing them all down. Quaitha bringing the bear in from the side. Miracle held in the chakram. The coil is back up and is slammed down onto the two of them. Catches Miracle, catches GH, and now over towards Kuro. Boxy goes and he's able to find him in the trees as well. 3 more kills for Liquid. 15-4 as Liquid, they'll look to take this tier 1 tower.
Miracle just can't catch a break. Like, Taiga's on him all the time. He's also playing into Timbersaw. Timbersaw should not be able to die. Like, he has this hood. I don't think they kill him unless they get like a full static link duration. Also, reminder, Nyx Assassin's Vendetta does not apply break anymore.
Doesn't
so
anymore.
It's not as good against these heroes that needs to be broken. Like Timbersaw, even if you like break him, he still has reactive armor. He's gonna keep, but he keep the stacks that he already had. They find the Ironwood tree for Nigma. Unfortunately, there's none for Boxy. He, like, whenever I saw Boxy playing Timbersaw, it was pretty much 100% drop rate.
Yeah, and he's very good at using it when he gets in top lane. They are able to trip up Mickey. Certainly one thing, you know, Mickey does have to be a bit cautious this game. There's quite a few things that can catch him. Long duration stuns from Miracle. Heavy hitting silences from RMM. It's Liquid. They're going to turn up to try to defend this. Nigma, they do have the full 5-man alive. Over to the side, we are heading with the static link onto Tiger. Tiger, he's been silenced. They're going to be able to run him down. Tiger will fall. Boxy cuts across though, looking to burst. We are low. He's got the movement speed to step out to the side though. GH blocking Liquid off and chasing for more as will TP out. GH is able to get them the room to get their Razor out of there. GH will be held back. And he's able to trip up the freezing field here with the spike carapace. But Mickey jumps straight back across. And they will manage to claim GH's life. But Nigma, they put some pressure, they poke at the tower, they won't get it, but they're able to make sure that they get all their cores out alive.
Still a good trade for Team Liquid. Like, they get the kill in position 4. Could have been even worse for Team Nigma there. A Dragon Knight He wants that Blink Dagger to be able to initiate. Problem is they have so many things to focus on. Like, you can't just completely ignore Timbersaw because he's gonna shred through you. Playing into like a Dragon Knight. It just feels that they have too many stuff to focus on. Like, you need to focus Puck. This Lone Druid is free farming Quoquays, 3-0 and 6, getting that Maelstrom online. Has another 700 gold in the bank. We've seen the combo in the previous fight. RMN using the Ink Swell and one of the Necro Warriors. Foil again.
Miracle and GH, they step forward, but immediately Mickey turns, drops the ult. GH will buy a bit of safety with the stun out onto the two of them, but they're diving in onto Miracle. The Dragon Knight falls. GH, he'll also be unable to escape as Mickey jumps in. Boxy finishes him off. More kills for the Timbersaw. Boxy 5, 1 and 3. Really starting to amp up. Speedy's finding action in mid lane. Kuro tries to clear out a wave. Tiger's in. They're diving in past the tier 2 tower. As Kuro's going to try and run Boxy, is he able to find him? He's going to get knocked back by Kuro, and that's going to be enough to stop Boxy from chasing for more, because Weehar's turned up. He's in with the static link. Have they got the control to take Boxy down? They don't. Another Timber Chain available. He cuts over towards the trees, and he's back to safety.
I think Boxy should not die until the game just ends on the Timbersaw. Also, like, love the itemization, going into Sanj, some status resistance against the Nyx Assassin. We see more and more, like, casual Sanjas being picked up on certain heroes. Like, you don't have to upgrade it, but you can't, like, you could just get Heaven's Halberd here. I wouldn't mind against the Dragon Knight and especially Razor. Bottom lane being pushed in. Seems like Nigma will not try to defend that. So they can take the Shrine pre-20-minute mark, which is a pretty big deal. By Shrine, I mean Outpost.
Shrine, what year is it?
I've seen other people making the same mistakes.
No, I think the players call it Shrines as well still sometimes. I mean, who knows what we're going to have there next patch?
Maybe
could
it's
all
added
change.
back.
Would you like Shrines to return?
Oh no, God.
No, you
like,
didn't like
this was one of the worst things that we've had. This and Respawn talents. I didn't mind GPM talents though.
No, you're cool with those ones. Top, Miracle. He's going to pop the ult here. TP's coming in. He's going to go for the easy link onto Insania, but the toss back, Tiger's able to save him. Gets Insania back underneath the tower. GH tries to get him with the combo, but Mickey blows him up. Dreamcoil down onto Weehardt. Miracle's heading in with the Dragonfall. They've got the silence. The Soulbind locked down onto Mickey. It's enough. They bring down the puck. Liquid, are they going to continue to try and fight on without Mickey? Looks like they're certainly going to try for it as Boxy's in. Toss onto Quoifer, getting it straight in onto the front lines, over onto Weehardt, as Weehardt will get caught out. The rest of Nigma, they're able to back off in time.
This is something that Boxy does really well, just using the Chakram and keeping them inside of it with his hero, just body blocking. We can call him Bloxy when he does that.
Like it. As you said at the start, very competent Timber player sitting here. They are going to try and commit onto him. We're seeing how much effort's having to be made to even bring him anywhere close to dying, and he doesn't even get that. He's fine. Boxy's fine. Turns over towards GH. Miracle moves in with the stun onto Insania, but the bear's around. Miracle's got to be careful of the bear.
Now you can see even the experienced players like that Nigma have on the team. I'll shut up. Yeah, this is just gonna be a dead Crystal Maiden. Like, they still don't know how much damage this Timbersaw is gonna take. He pops the hood, reactive armor kicks in. It's pretty hard still, you know, to just know if you can take him down. They try to poke, see what happens, so for the next fight they will know that they can't kill the Timbersaw. He's very vulnerable to Phantom's Embrace. Like, you just use mana, Chakram is out, you can't attack, can't get it back. Tier 1 tower still standing, 18 minutes in. Even with a Dragon Knight on the mid lane, you're still not able to bring it down. Nyx Assassin. I like the build here. Like, just max out the spike the character pace instead, and I think you don't put more than 2 points in Impale. Just try to get the mana burn online. Great against the Timbersaw, great against Puck. Because Carapace really scales well. 5 seconds per level. Philosopher's Stone found out. One of my favorite items.
See mid. Boxy. You know, he's just in. He's just in there on his own. He knows it's going to take so long for them to kill him. There's more than enough time for the rest of Liquid to turn up and try and turn things around. Insania dropping out the freezing field. Miracle getting low. Mickey's able to finish him off with a bit of burst. He is. As Miracle goes down, so does GH. It's Liquid, they're diving in for more. Tiger getting the toss-up, throwing Quake for spare, straight in over towards Weehard. Tiger will fall, but Liquid, they're just finding the cleanup here with 3 dead. Boxy even diving up to the high ground. He won't be able to quite have the damage to finish off Weehard. But Quake over to the
they
side.
found the Keeper of the Light as well. Root, Fear, dead.
4 heroes for 1. It really is at that point. It's a second time where Nigma, they've tried to kill Boxy. He was relatively deep on their half of the map on the mid lane. It doesn't matter. Boxy can get away with that sort of move every single time. They just can't kill him.
Yeah, they tried once again. He's just not. They don't have enough damage to actually kill him. If it was the old Nyx assassin, possibly with the break, if he has no stack, Boycott could be in a bit of a trouble here. And I love that. Like, I actually love that. He's the one keeping the Philosopher's Stone, something that we see when there's like Zeus, when there's a Tinker on the team. Like, these heroes just benefit so much from the Philosopher's Stone, because like you don't attack with the hero at all, like you don't deal any right-click damage. Blink in from Miracle, no stun.
I mean, you say you like it, but top. They're able to kill Miracle off. They've got him in the coil. They've already taken out GH. So if they can chase Miracle down, is he going to have any other way of getting himself out? He's going to jump over to the side. Kuro and RMM by him, and says he's still going to be chased by Boxy. Boxy's just going in. Can't go any further though. They'll be able to keep the rest of them safe here. Nigma, still 26-9. Definite struggles here again in game 2 against Liquid.
Timbersaw has 54% magic resist with Hood and Nether Shawl. Like, it's the perfect Timbersaw item.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's so tanky. So unbelievably tanky. Only having that 1 death this game. I think you're pretty much bang on when you say you just don't expect to see him go down again this match. Unless something drastic happens. As Nigma still very much in a tough spot here in the second game. That's a lot of pressure. I mean, in terms of sort of carry potential to scale and turn things around, I mean, your best hero on the lineup is this Razor, but Razor just as a hero in general is... It's not a great one to play from behind. This is never going to be that carry that sort of saves a broken game.
That's the problem. Also, you have a Grimstroke as your off lane, so he's not going to be able to really scale. Grimstroke is, you know, okay if you're playing ahead, if you have like a great target to get possibly like Aghanim Scepter. They don't have that kind of a hero, so even if he like gets the Aghanim Scepter, you don't get the value from it.
No, not at all. Definitely a tough lineup to play from behind, and not sort of the same way as we saw in game 1. You know, there very much was the sense there are game 1, they get the BKBs, they may have a chance of fighting despite the huge gold deficit. This game is much tougher for Nigma, but we'll see them give the best shot here as Miracle. He's up to the high ground. He's able to find the jump in onto Tiger. They do take him out. Buyback. But now the coil's out. Mickey's able to trap the 2 of them by the outpost. Time being brought for the extra TPs to come in. Boxy just charging in over towards Miracle. Takes him out with the Timber Chain. The Avalanche combo coming crashing down onto Weehar as Liquid find 3. They're not done yet. Whipping down RMN as they'll slow him in position. Surround him with the Timber Saw. As RMN, he's out as well. 4 dead on Nigma. As it just seems to be just too impossible at this stage to fight against Liquid's lineup. You know, for Nigma to sort of hold on and have a chance of turning this, they're definitely going to be crossing their fingers for Liquid to make some massive mistakes. Because if Liquid, they play this one out, it's pretty much game over.
Yeah, you need to be very careful, you know, just going all in on position 4, position 5. They use the buyback, you're fighting near the outpost. They can just instantly buy back and come back to the fight. You're caught out of the position. A rough one. So they take another tier 2 tower. They don't have any tier 2 towers left. They don't have the outpost. Like, they could just go inside the pit and I think just take the Roche, try to take a fight there.
See what Nigma's plan's going to be playing this far behind. BKB still a bit away here for Miracle. And still for We are still about 1,000 gold short of having that done. Of course, that's not going to solve the difficulty with just having the damage to kill these heroes. Might buy them a little more time in the fights. Liquid able to do a very good job of kiting out any fights that they feel that they don't want to be a part of. getting back in when they know that they can get the kills.
550 movement speed on the Lone Druid once he uses the Spirit Bear, once he uses Phase Boots and the Mask of Madness. Taiga also keeps using the Bullwhip on the Bear most of the time in a team fight, so just slow them down. They're looking for a kill.
We are going to get a bit of a nasty surprise. There's Liquid there, ready and waiting. Another kill. Miracle popping the Dragon form to desperately try and shove out this mid lane, relieve some of the pressure that's going to be applied to them shortly by Liquid.
Well, we know which team watched anime, right? The one that's picking Davion 2 times in a row.
It definitely seems to be that wouldn't have been the best sort of research and time spent in preparation, though. As both games, Nigma certainly struggling. As mid lane, Mickey's in, trying to bait out some reactions. They'll drop the soul blind, connect the two of them. A real way of getting Miracle in. They're trying to take down the bear. So that's going to be a dead RMN on the front of it all. Again, these are these Lincolns just making it impossible for them to ever really find the chance to commit in onto Mickey. Kuro will just be able to live. Fortification out, Miracle tries to jump in with the catch, but a blink out takes him away.
It took them a while to end the previous game, but this one, you know, they're going high ground, even without taking the Roche. All tier 2 towers are gone. Like, the safer play would be, you know, get that Roche and then try to end the game.
See if Nigma could find a chance to at least give it one more fight outside of the base. Or if Liquid just won't allow them any opportunity to do this. As the map has become a very, very scary place for Nigma right now, playing with the deficit that they have.
Pretty much the same story from the previous game, where they're stuck inside the base, they're getting the farm once the creep wave pretty much meets where the tier 2 tower was. This is the all farm they can get, and look at where Mick is standing. Like, he's not trying to make stuff happen, he's just farming the ancients. They're getting the most out of the map. GH scouting things out, but there's no way he's gonna kill him. Pretty much same the build from Mickey as in the previous game. A Witchblade, then a Blink Dagger, going for the Lincoln Sphere, and a bit more damage with that Desolator.
Nigma, they have managed to get themselves right out on the bottom lane, but nothing, unfortunately, for themselves to be found here. GH not quite able to get the courier as well. Would have been a nice little thing to take away from Boxy. Not going to be the case. Speed's there, courier's going to be able to deliver safely. And Liquid there having all the space and time to take down this Roche if they're able to finish it. Then the bear with Quaker being as fast as he is.
Mickey actually picks it up. You talked about the courier kills, he almost gets it on the way back. Psychic Headband found by Puck, so that's gonna help quite a lot. You know, just to be able to push out possibly like even Razor when he's using the static link on someone. They're trying to run away. Great to break the coil as well.
Liquid want to play it even safer they can. Quaker very close to Huge Giant to allow them to siege. AC just about done and on its way. So.
Quake's too farmed. Like, he has too many items. 17,000 net worth. The second hero, actually the most farmed hero for Nigma is Razor with only 10,000. Same goes for Dragon Knight.
There's the jump, Tiger. Vision's down, they find GH, coil out onto the two of them. We'll get Miracle in on the back lines. He's able to find the commitment onto Insania. Will take out the Crystal Maiden. They're popping their BKBs here, Nigma. See if this makes any sort of a difference. It doesn't look to be, as we are unable to finish off the target during his BKB. He's got to get back up to the high ground. Will manage to at least live.
So no BKBs for Nigma. It's time for Team Liquid to go in. They still have that Aegis. They have another bear available.
And we are. He goes down. Mickey's able to jump in and pop him. Again, a second kill onto GH. He's out. No buyback on the two of them. Liquid just be able to clean them up one by one. Diving in past the tier 3s, past the tier 4s. Boxy pushing them right back to the fountain. And he's going to make sure that there's no chance for Nigma to step out here as Liquid. They can clear up the base, get each and every racks pretty much. Well, this time still 30 seconds with 2 members down on Nigma.
Nigma, pretty much the same story. What happened in the game 1, stuck in the base, Team Liquid playing so aggressively. They get out of the laning stage with a lot of advantage, and yeah, I think this one's also over. Like having Grimstroke as the off lane, they'll try it one more time.
They're going all in on Quake, but can they quite burst him? They can. They will manage to bring down the lone Druid. Is that going to allow them to get anything else done though in this fight? As the coils down, catches and takes out Kuroki. Is able to move over to the backlines, find Insania. So that is 2 dead on Liquid.
Mickey wants to die. He wants to use that Aegis.
See if he wants to jump back in again. GH is looking for him with the Vendetta. Mickey still alive. Could GH at least take the Aegis out of his hands? He can. They take the Aegis away from the puck. Can they go for a second round? Tiger back in with the combo onto Weear, but Weear's able to turn, take out Tiger. Foxy pushing the Razor away, will combo him down with the Chakram and the Whirling Death. And now he's going to turn over towards GH.
They just don't have the answer for this Timber, so like he can do whatever he wants. He can reset multiple times. Like the only way you deal with him pretty much is to use mana burn on him, but he has Eternal Shroud, so he can get his mana back and be able to use the Timber Chain to get out of the trouble. So yeah, buyback from Koikwa. He wants to end this game.
Yeah, he's going all in on it. He wants this one done with. As that really was sort of the first time we've seen Nigma just able to get sort of a fight going where they can kill the cause. It's not enough. Nice dodge there from Miracle, avoiding the coil of Mickey.
Oh, there's the pushback from the Psychic Band.
As they'll take these racks, no trouble. No trouble at all here. As the melee and range removed from the bottom lane. Miracle trying to bring down the Bear. He'll manage to do so. So Bear gone, bit of gold here for Miracle. As that is, he's a full minute without the Bear. But the Mega Creeps are out. It's going to be rather difficult for Nigma to defend against this sort of pressure with the heroes that they have. But they're doing their best here. They're holding on. They're keeping the game going.
You don't have that Battle Fury carrier. You have no cleave whatsoever. Like, yeah, you need to pop the Dragonite ulti to be able to deal with the Mega Creeps. Razor doesn't do anything to them. Grimstroke's okay-ish, you know. Keeper of the Light's also fine, but you have one more fight. You lose a fight, the game just ends. This is it. Smoke time. That's what we call a desperation smoke. Let's see what they can find from this.
You got to go for it. As you say, you stand sort of 0% chance winning this game as this lineup.
This is not the target that you want to find.
A little unfortunate. Boxy is able to block it for Nigma. That's not indeed what they were hoping for. But they've got to try for these hits. They're never going to do it waiting in the base. They've got to play for that maybe sort of 1%, 2% chance of just catching Liquid off guard out on the map.
2%? I think you're being too generous right
2%,
now. Yeah.
You'd keep it under the 1.
What does the Dota Plus say?
That's probably 0. I think Dota Plus is probably rather harsh at this stage. Now Mega creeps up. Looking like very few chances. Yeah, 0% at the moment. And they're rather understandable. It has been for a few minutes as well on the prediction.
We've seen some comebacks, right?
We have seen some
We've seen some.
And you know, for as much as we know, maybe that percentage rounds down. It could be a 0.1. You never know.
Wait, I just realized that this puck coil is actually a Lotus from anime.
It is, isn't it? The cosmetic.
It is?
Yeah, well, there we go. I missed Puck's
No
appearance.
spoilers.
No spoilers. Puck. There we go. So that is another defense. They're holding on. I mean, Mickey dead. They're definitely slowing down the end of this game, Nigma.
Because Quake went bot back, so they need to be a bit more careful. Yeah, they need to wait for the second Roche and maybe try to close it out then, because they used the buybacks. They wanted to just end the game there, but kind of backfired. What does Gaben say, you know, after this fight? After they got 2 kills, is it 1%?
Oh, it's still 0%.
It's still 0%?
I don't think he's changing his mind. I don't think we're seeing any change there, no. Yeah, still solidly flatlining on that 0%. But maybe, you know, if they're able to do this a few more times, a lot more times, we're going for the Maelstrom Ione, you know, trying to get things online to deal with the Mega Creeps.
That also fits the lore, you know, Chain Lightning coming out from Razor.
That's true.
Makes a lot of sense.
I feel like Gleipnir would be more thematic, but probably, you know,
Yeah, you can get both.
There we go. That's exactly.
Get 3 of
Why
them.
not
Get
both?
Maelstrom, Mjolnir, and Gleipnir.
I like your thinking.
This is something that you would do, Owen.
Oh, I have. I personally...
Why am I not surprised?
I'm a little surprised that Quoth not tried this. Actually, I'm not, because it's terrible. But what about the Gleipnir Lone Druid build? 2 Gleipnirs, one on the bear, one on the... You know, imagine the roots. But, you know what I mean? Gleipnir, bam, entangle, It's
it's just too strong. Like,
it's just too strong.
Remember
That's why we
in,
don't
like,
see it. Too strong.
back in my days, Pudge couldn't use a Blink Dagger, Nether could Vengeful Spirit. Like, maybe we should do that with the Gleipnir on Lone Druid, because it seems too powerful.
Yeah. Well, then you should not be able to buy bashes on heroes, right?
Yeah, we still can't.
Wait, no, you can.
Well, I mean, it doesn't work on Spirit Breaker.
But you can buy it.
Sure.
So you can look cool. Anyway, mid lane Miracle's gone. And this time round he doesn't have buyback. So Miracle down, Liquid up with the numbers, 5 versus 4. Should see Liquid try and close this one up now. Just the tier 4s in the base. The Ancient remaining, Tiger slides in. Gets the toss back onto GH as GH is out. 2 dead, no buyback. Quoth going to work with the bear onto the towers. To put an end to this one. We are in Iron Man. Can they do anything to push them back? Fortification. Put a bit of a break onto the proceeds here from Liquid, but now it will resume as the fortification comes to an end. We are trying to charge in, popping the BKB, trying to commit with the static thing, but they're able to break
Get smashed.
it. Step back, get back in there with the bears. Weehar's got to run back to the fountain. They got the toss control from Tiger. Weehar does have buyback though. He's ready for another round of the defense, but the Ancient is exposed. Liquid, they'll look to close it. And Nigma, they won't be able to stop it this time round. As GG is called, Liquid will take this second game. And with that, a clean victory this series, 2-0 against Nigma. As both games, Team Liquid, I mean, looking very prepared for the major and just sort of a full...
Yes! Do you miss the intense passion? Best teams in the world. Powerful emotions. Epic fights. Stunning rivalries. It's time for the biggest comeback. Singapore. This March. Black Major Dota is coming back.
But the one thing about the Magnus is he still can get burst, and also there's a situation where you have to watch out about fatal bonds. You're very tanky. If you're bonded to your team and you don't have the Baton to get that to remove that from you, it could be problematic as the RP.
It gets it on 1. So on Boxy at the same time they'll be able to hold Quoth for the side. Quoth's got to be careful. I'm going to chase Quoth's dead.